second of silence.
No.
Welcome to another Biddle on Saturday night while my phone's going off right as we start. What's going on? Uh-oh. Chicken in the house.
Oh, hi. Is that me?
Sistrum. Welcome both. Welcome
Sistrum.
Stream.
Yeah. All right, so we had a distro challenge going on last week.
Chicken got a haircut. Just saying.
I'm bald now.
Yeah, he got shorn like a sheep. So
No,
chicken.
he just went to the Michael Tennell gel store and and Dolphin.
Wait,
hey guys, how's it going?
That should be a store.
That should be.
I know it is. I know it should be. But,
Buster, you can do.
What the heck kind of name?
So anyway, we had a distro challenge last week for Manjaro Deepin.
XVZ06NB. No.
There we go.
Which one of you guys, or if any of you guys, tried Manjaro Deepin?
I was not here at the time for that. So
That is
Neither was I, so
that is
I
such a
wouldn't
lame
be-
excuse.
I don't have to.
I wasn't either.
That's still lame, Barb.
After my one attempt at a challenge, you think I'm going to do that again?
But
Where's your
that-
sense of adventure?
But Barb,
It doesn't. I like my things to work.
I mean, I will
fair.
say that Ryan was the one that made that challenge. So
Yes,
there you
and
go.
I've
Where's
never let
Ryan?
him forget it. Where's
Where
Ryan?
is Ryan?
That's what we're always asking ourselves.
Yeah.
Where is Ryan?
Yeah, you notice he disappears on these things.
Of course he does.
Mhm.
Of course he does. Well, I tried Manjaro Deepin, and well, it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Let's put it that way. So I had. Let me
So
get
you were in it deep.
I was deep in it, and I was hoping that it was actually going to work. And it is nice. I mean, I'm not saying it's terrible, but there's some things that there's some good things and there's some bad things, and it's nice looking. But I went in and I tried to find the display settings, and I like the idea of everything having icons and not a lot of text going on and everything, but trying to find things and having to hover over items in order to find out what they are. And for goodness sake, really Deepin, one of the most beautiful operating systems for people's standards, and they use compass icons? Really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I tell you what, it's a strange choice. I gotta
It's
say.
a very strange choice for a supposed to be modern
feel
looking
like-
desktop.
What made it a little strange was that, like, I don't think the normal Deepin icons are good either, only because they use a lot of the papyrus stuff, and that really doesn't fit in with their theme.
No.
Yeah, good icons, but not for that.
Yeah, none of these fit in properly. It's really annoying.
So I ran into another issue where you can't remove the main directories, like the what do you call, documents, pictures, music, and all that. Go ahead, Dolphin.
I actually ran it in the live session just to try out. I saw your post in the Telegram feed about that. And yeah, they consider those folders system folders and don't let you touch them. And in fact, very strange things happen if you try to overwrite them with symlinks.
Yep.
That's a
So,
very poor choice.
It was bad. And now you can go into the .config folder where there's a Colin actually put up a video on it where you can go into the user.dirs directories file, config file, and you can change them there. And that does kind of do the same thing as symlinking them, but to try to get that in going was kind of wonky. And it did end up working, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe their home folder directs it to the desktop folder. At least that's what it did for mine.
That's weird.
Okay, so I did a lot of Symlink experiments trying to make this work for you. And it diverts where the symlinks go. If you try to you can do some command line magic and make a symlink overwrite an existing file, even if it's present. You can make it overwrite. And so I was trying this. I was like, well, this will work. I'll just overwrite the thing. I was very smug, and it crashed and burned in a hurry. When the symlink, so if I would point the symlink at, say, documents, the symlink, instead of taking over documents, would be inside documents as another symlink, but still linked to documents. So if you clicked it, it would go into the never-ending loop of trying to symlink to itself over and 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 over, ad nauseum, and eventually give up and say, you have too many levels of symlinks. Well, yeah, if you just did what I told you to do, I wouldn't have that problem. But alas, that was very strange. I had not seen that before.
Well, you know what actually worked was I booted into Pop! OS, and I went to the partition and deleted the documents, pictures, and them folders from Pop! OS, and it obviously allowed you to delete it from there.
Yeah, I suspected that there's some part of the deep end process is monitoring for those folders. Yeah. And because it's not like it's chattered. I mean, it's not like it's not done. They're not immutable. You can do things to them. All the classic ways you see to make things so the user can't touch them. It's not doing any of that. It's just literally saying, if you do any command on these folders besides saving something inside them, forget about it. You can't do it.
What I was thinking at first was it was a similar thing. Was if you actually create those things before like a user is actually like created or like fully situated. So if you create a user and then mess with that stuff before the user ever logs in, then it's a possibility that might work. So it must be something that's actually running to prevent that from happening, as you said, which is ridiculous. I can't think of any reason they would think that's okay.
It was a very strange choice.
Yes, it was. Well, they have the menu, which is very nice. You can go from the full screen menu to a regular menu, but in it you can't, like, you have the clock, but I didn't find anywhere where you could change the clock to an AM PM thing. It was always on the 24-hour clock, and I didn't find that anywhere.
Okay, so I happened on this accidentally, just playing around on the live session. It just happened. Like, I started with a 24-hour clock, and then all of a sudden it became 4 o'clock p.m. or whatever time it was. I didn't do anything. I think I clicked on the clock at one point, and then it turned around, and I came back later, and here it was. And what was even funnier is the machine I was using wasn't even hooked up to the internet. And so I don't understand how it happened. Maybe I did something accidentally. I found it very easy to accidentally do things in the deep end desktop. That was my first experience with it. But
wait, say that again. You found it easy or didn't find it easy?
No, I didn't find it easy.
I didn't find it easy either.
The parts of it that acted like we're fine. The full screen menu, I even found the file manager a little wonky. But I've been so much time spent. I spent so much time trying to make the symlink thing work that I might be colored a little bit.
If this experience was that bad, imagine what it's like on actual Deepin.
Yeah, right. Because
didn't you try that? Didn't you try it, Alan?
Yeah, I use both Deepin and Deepin Manjaro. I have 2 machines with it on them that I occasionally boot into, and there's definitely pros and cons. One of the issues that Deepin OS has is that, yeah, cool, it's their desktop, but they kind of completely trash its performance. They completely trash, everything that's supposed to kind of make it work. They kind of chop that in half and just say, have, something that doesn't allow you to change where your sources come from, something that doesn't allow you to control things in the way you would be able to in Manjaro, but you still can't do a fair bit in Manjaro, even though it's a completely different undercarriage. So it's pretty rough.
Here's one of the most ridiculous things that I found was, so they have the manual in there. So you go into the menu and they got a manual. So you go in. So I went into the manual and it auto mounts drives, certain drives. Now I have I think 4 different drives in the computer. One of them has like 15 or no, it has 30 different partitions on it, but 15 are mountable. So it auto mounts the main drives. It doesn't mount.
I'm just
the one
trying to
with all
wrap my
them
brain around
partitions.
that.
Well, Ubuntu does
Team
similar,
partition.
doesn't it? Doesn't it auto mount stuff?
No.
Ubuntu does.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Which
it
It'll,
doesn't.
the showing the links in the file manager is not auto mounting. It's just
Yeah.
showing.
Well,
them
it'll
there.
mount like removable media though. Not
Yeah,
in
but this is not removable,
removable media. Yeah, they auto mount removable
Right.
media.
So
yeah,
this
they're supposed to do that.
this showed up as being mounted. So I'm looking for a way to unmount them or to have them not mount automatically. So I go into their manual and I type in mount, and it comes up with nothing except for a link to the Deepin Wiki page, which is great. I mean, that's great. So I go to the Wiki page, and the only thing that pops up on the Wiki page is some Chinese writing with an American do not enter sign.
That is ominous.
That
Like it
sounds
was an
wonderful.
actual logo of a do not enter sign and then some Chinese writing. So that was totally weird, dude.
Maybe
I
it just
know.
means work in progress.
I've
Yeah.
seen some fascinating thoughts on how auto mounting should work. Realistically, nothing should auto mount unless you set it to. Because
Correct.
anything you plug in would just open up, and you don't necessarily.
Yeah, but it's a convenience thing. You're
It's
talking about
not,
convenience.
though.
versus
Just because you
security.
plug in a drive doesn't mean you want to mount
Yeah,
it.
it does because it
You
depends
can-
on the
no,
depends on
because
the
if
user. It is
You're
convenient
trying to
versus
burn the
security.
ISO to it. You don't need to mount it for that.
Okay, but people who don't know that what you are even saying plug in a USB drive because they want to get files on and off. They would want it to auto mount.
Necessarily, because it doesn't just extend to USB drives. It extends.
I
No, I'm saying a person who's an average user who just takes a flash drive, plugs it in, and that's what they want to get the files off or put files on.
But it's still a risk, and it's still a dumb thing to do.
Yeah,
like-
all computing. That's what I'm saying. It's a level between you're compromising between convenience and security.
I love you guys because this is like 8 years of arguments on the Annex forums compressed into this little moment. So Michael is
Just
right,
save you all the time.
and Chicken is right.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, you want to guess what the #1 most requested feature on Annex before we went to Annex 15 was?
Auto mounting.
Auto mount.
Auto mounting.
Yeah,
Seriously,
of course it was.
that adding auto mounting eliminated like 80% of the questions in the Annex form.
I think that also is because when they use Windows or they use use Mac
Yeah.
OS, they auto mount unless they've changed Windows.
The only thing that frustrates me is like in Ubuntu, like you can make it to where it doesn't open up the file manager when you do it, but like I haven't found an option that lets you not mount by default, or that lets you just not mount it. So at least an option would be cool.
I know we can turn it off in Annex. I actually don't remember if you can turn it off in XFCE.
I mean, I'm using Ubuntu Mate right now. It doesn't let you. You can tell it not to open the file manager, but there's no option not to mount it, which is
That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is. There should be an option somewhere for it.
And there probably
I'm
is
just saying mount all the things.
XFCE has a you can turn it off in XFCE.
Oh.
I don't know about. I didn't look in Deepin's
Well, I guess I'm
configuration
in the
that
wrong
deep to
place
see.
then.
Well, everybody should be using XFCE.
So Zeb's not here to back me up, but tell me I'm the only guy here who tried Deepin.
Oh no, I did.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I
I
did
didn't know
live.
about it at all, so I didn't do it.
I didn't know about it, and I wouldn't try it anyway.
actually, you know
I
what's
totally
funny?
would have. Let's just pretend that that's true.
Some of the biggest problems with
I actually liked the way the desktop looked.
Mhm.
I thought it was very, very nice. It used a lot of RAM. The machine I was using it on only had 2 gigs of RAM, and I was using half of it just running the desktop. But if you had the hardware for it, it's about like GNOME. I mean, it's pretty nice. I thought it was nice. I didn't have quite the same problem with the quote unquote universal icons. I had to hover over them to get a couple of them, but once I knew what they were, I thought they were fine. It was a one-time deal. You know, my biggest problem was I didn't know what the live password was.
Is it not empty?
The Manjaro default
think it's
user
just root.
password.
Shouldn't
It's
it be-
Manjaro.
Is it Manjaro? Oh, it used
It
to
should
be.
just be empty like everybody else.
Yeah, true.
Well, I can't tell you. It was Manjaro.
Well,
I had to go to the Manjaro forums to find out because I didn't. I assume it's in the manual, but I
mean, it makes
honestly went
sense.
online first.
But having an empty makes more sense.
Deepin is a troubled desktop because they have things that might as well just not even be there, like theming controls. that might as well not exist. You change your theme, your file manager looks exactly the same. All the native deepin, nothing respects the theme that you choose, except for apps that don't come with deepin. So what's the point of having that built in?
Well, to say more on that, I tried to put my close and minimize them. I tried to move them. I tried to move the close to the left.
You can't do that.
Well, you can put it in there, but the deepin apps don't respect that.
Exactly.
So only an outside app will respect that. So
why would it even be built into the desktop if it doesn't work for those desktops?
It should work for everything.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So when you did you say that it was Ryan's idea to do this?
No.
Why does everyone blame me for this crap? I haven't even said a word, and I already get blamed. You see what I do?
Because
I wasn't in here. I wasn't here last week. I was asking.
It's a sore subject, Michael, because somebody in chat, as soon as I join, goes, yeah, things always go wrong when Ryan recommends something. I'm like, I have not been here, and I did not recommend this. This is the crap I have to deal with.
Yes, but remember the last one you recommended.
Yes.
And how well that
I'm
went.
sorry, you guys, the experts who've been in Linux your whole lives can't figure out Anthragos.
No, it just had boot barf.
I've been in Linux 2 years, can run Anthragos, but you guys have been in it for your whole 20 years, and you're like, it ruined my whole machine. It asked you to click next and stuff. Come on.
It didn't ruin the machine. It just wouldn't install.
Yeah. It was the word. No, it installed, but it didn't do what it was supposed to, and then it took the grub away. Totally gone. Partition wasn't even there. No partition.
I have a challenge for you guys.
Oh my god!
Fantastic. Let's do it.
Well, after deep,
don't worry, y'all can make challenges. They'll blame me anyway. So go ahead.
Yeah.
No, but Arco Linux, their next ISO comes out tomorrow, so.
Well, I think you're ready for it, aren't you?
It's probably the only Arch-based distro nowadays that doesn't make you want to cry. So.
I always have at least one disk running Arco Linux at all times.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody?
He's already winning. So
your challenge is accepted then.
Yeah.
I accept that challenge. I will definitely install Arco. I'm
really
going to install it either
It's
way.
a matter of I hop desktops on it from time to time, but I always have at least one Arco Linux disk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I haven't gotten around to playing with Arco Linux, so
let's see. Arco's Eric Dubois, right?
Yeah.
He's a pretty good guy.
My dream is for you and Eric to get together to do something, Dolphin, because you guys are two of my favorite creators, and I couldn't imagine just any project. It doesn't matter what it is. You guys just got to work on something together. Man.
We'll have to figure game, and he'll love it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just don't understand.
He made us icons. I got nothing but love for the guy. And we've talked once online. I don't even know if he knows it was me, but it was he's got some MX icons built into his one of his icon themes. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a wiki. He just has 1,000 videos. He puts out 2-3 videos a day. You can go on his YouTube site.
Yeah, his Twitter feed's pretty fun.
He's got
dedication.
If it wasn't for him, I could have never stuck with i3, but he has so many tutorials and scripts and well laid out stuff. He was a teacher when we had him on Destination Linux. I remember he was a professor. So he has this way of laying things out in a, very instructional manner that anybody could follow. And that's just how he thinks, and that's how he builds stuff, and it's beautiful. Everything.
It doesn't matter what I'm using. I've always got something from him on my system, whether it be the icons, whether it be some of his.
And another nice thing is every time he has an update that breaks something, he figures out how to fix it, then immediately makes a video to tell everybody else how to fix it.
That's awesome. He's got
Because Neo,
machine.
when NeoFetch went to version 5, it broke the logo that would come up. And he went in and showed you how to change the config file to change from the ping to a W3M file so that your logo would come back up.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really good on that. But he couldn't help me with the what was the problem I was having, Ryan?
No one can help you, Rocco.
And I asked him, and he's like, I don't know, dude. Read the manual.
He's like, wow, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
Always comes up with the new stuff.
Hey.
But Rocco would be the perfect tester for anybody's distro. Like before you release, send it to Rocco. He'll, if it's gonna break, the man.
I can do it.
Even if it's not, he'll find a way to do that.
Yeah.
Adding to the alpha list right now.
You let me have it, Dolphin. I'll
Yep.
give you some.
It'll be
bugs, okay?
shattered. Okay.
He's the ultimate tester.
Well, I don't know if it's me, but I think it's my hardware that's the ultimate tester because for some reason there's always hardware issues with systems with my, and it's decent hardware. You know what I mean? Like it's actually pretty good hardware. It just must be a bad combo or something. And speaking of bad combo of hardware, it must have been the NVIDIA card that I have or something because when I was in Deepin, I went to. It didn't I put it to have my display. It doesn't have the KDE thing where you just click the display and it automatically puts your monitors in the right place. So I tried to manually do that. And as soon as I moved it in the display manager, I moved the one monitor over, both screens went black.
Always a good
black.
sign.
That's a feature, Rocco.
And you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't alt control delete. You couldn't, there was nothing except a cursor. And that was it. So I ended up having, this was Manjaro Deepin. So I had to shut it off, boot back into it. And then I actually installed, or I had the NVIDIA drivers installed, but I had to open up the NVIDIA control settings to change the display.
So are you and Chicken still as excited? Because when you guys talk about Deepin, and it's a
about Juno,
looking about Juno.
Of course.
I mean, I haven't heard you speak about it in like a whole 5 minutes of talking to you here. So I was wondering if you'd lost all your excitement or something.
Oh no, absolutely not.
No way.
It's impossible.
So
Did you
when's
see
that
the
gonna...
hex codes?
So have you guys tried their pre-beta beta?
Of course. It's on hardware already.
It looks like Chicken's shirt. It's purple. Very purple.
That's just the beta wallpaper, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Though. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying it's purple. You can't deny it's purple.
It's definitely
very purple.
There's nothing wrong with purple. Come on, guys.
Nothing's wrong with purple. It's just
I'm
very
sorry.
purple.
I'm sorry, but Elementary is way nicer than Deepin.
Yeah, honestly, it
and
all over it.
It's very purple. And if you're curious what the gradient colors and hex values of the purple are, it is included in the latest episode of Destination Linux show notes.
Wow, you should check it out.
Plug, man. Nice plug. Everyone's going to want that purple for their website. So having that hex is going to help out so much.
Yeah, I also did CMYK and RGB. So if you want to print or just put it on your computer, it's good.
What we should do is take all of our personal websites, and when Juno launches, we move them all to purple.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
yes.
for like the day, we have all of our personal websites are purple. I think that's the way to good celebrate.
I'm good with doing it.
Yeah. Gonna happen.
That's one thing. You know what? They even do that well. They even do beta wallpapers well because despite the vivid purple and everything, it's not like a nasty purple.
No, it's not.
And it's not like a.
It's also a blueprint thing, right?
Like like it's really well done, despite it being like a work in progress type style.
Yeah. It's also designed to be like. It looks like it's. I don't think it's going to be the final one because it kind of implies that this is like the beta wallpaper sort of thing.
Yeah, they have one for each release.
You described it, Michael, as like Country Morning Grape. Was that it?
What?
You had a real good description.
How dare you?
It was like Country Morning Grape.
No, it was Country Morning Lavender.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Lavender.
Your grape offends me.
No, I can't wait till Juno comes out. Because that's going to be on the main machine, you know that. Oh yeah, switching to it immediately.
He's like, I will switch to it for a whole week until the next thing comes out.
I know.
Until it stops working.
I got a that might be sooner than no. I got a reputation for distro hopping, but I've been on Pop! OS for how long, Ryan?
That's true, man. You've been on Pop! OS for at least a month.
Whole 2 days.
At least a month.
Yeah, I would say a month.
There you have that.
Well, the best thing about it is that Elementary can also know that he's got a reputation for distro hopping, but also breaking stuff. So you'll get some reports.
Yeah. Well, no, he doesn't report anything.
That's a good point.
Wow. Wow.
Savage. Oh, guys, guess what?
I'm just as guilty of that, Rocco, so I can't talk.
Guess what? The Arco Linux release just dropped. Right now.
Nice.
Not even
Wow, it's like Christmas.
Just right now?
Just right now. Boom.
All right, I got to go. See you guys. No.
I got
He's done early.
Already downloading.
Was he watching and just dropped it right when we were talking about
Yeah.
it?
Could you imagine?
Well done, Eric. Well done.
Well, he normally does it on the 1st of every month. I don't know why this month he held off till the 6th.
There were some issues that he was fixing something. I'm not sure exactly what the issue was, but it was broken. Yeah.
See, Ski,
Eric,
that
if
is
you're
not
listening,
right.
Say something in chat.
Ski, that is totally not right. Ryan, he said I would have a guest create the bug report for me.
Well done, Ski.
Oh
He
dear.
would never do that.
That
I
was
would-
the greatest.
Brian Sipes.
Was that not awesome or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still chuckle with Ryan. I still chuckle with him over that.
Yeah, but somebody did reply to that bug report and talked about it being a long-standing bug or something, and that
Yeah, it is a long-standing bug.
yeah, for 10 or 12 years or something like that.
15
So
actually.
did they close
15.
it, or is it still open?
Nah, it's still open.
Oh, that's
yeah, it's
good.
still open.
Usually
yeah,
when I open a bug report, they're like, stupidest bug ever. What are you, a moron? RTFM closed.
No,
Hey,
no,
guys, guess
you,
what?
you forgot the won't fix tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't fix for stupids. Go back to Windows.
So, System, what is the deal with that? It's the what is it? The XUL
Mhm.
that it won't allow they won't fix it until that's removed. I think they said.
Right.
I'm just a release engineer. That's all the kind of stuff I do.
I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me.
Well, anyway, they said that it might happen sometime in the future because they had talked about doing that. So, who
Well, I
knows?
mean, the fact that Zool is a problem because it's very restrictive as far like you can modify it a ton, but the defaults are kind of restrictive in the way it's structured because you need extra layers on top of it, which is not worth just from making the size of the subject bar and stuff.
I don't really care about that, it being restrictive. All I care about is Thunderbird's
What
the
I'm
only
saying
email
is
client that
the
you
next
can't have
version
a.
doesn't use Zool, and therefore you don't have to worry about it because it'll fix it. No, theoretically, they'll fix it.
Theoretically, yeah, technically, maybe, possibly.
Possibly.
We'll see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because that is like one of my biggest issues with Thunderbird is the fact that when my inbox is, I don't know about you guys how you handle your inbox, but I kind of leave my inbox there until I tackle it. So I got a ton of emails in my inbox.
See, I'm like Rocco, except for 17 years, I have actually copied every sent mail I've sent into my inbox.
Oh God.
So I have 12,000 emails in this box. But which is awesome is when you need to find every email you ever sent to a guy and you hit that super fast search filter, bam, 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 and then up comes every message you ever sent to some guy somewhere. That is brilliant. And my new office, I'm stuck on Outlook. I have to be on Outlook for it's a Microsoft 365 corporate thing going on. And I can't stand it. It's so slow. I was like, I can't believe this takes so long to do. I just want to strangle it. But it does have multi-line subject lines, so as you can see what the email is.
There you go. My mom's had her email address since 1998. And it was an MSN email address, and she's got 27,000 something things in her inbox.
That's a lot of emails.
That's just unread.
Ouch.
I think I actually
Doesn't
deleted mine
archive
in
any of it.
2002 or something. I forget why.
I said on the show I have 27 or something gigabytes of emails, but
That's a lot of mail.
they're not all in the inbox though.
Oh no, I put all mine in the inbox. I don't go looking for nothing.
I organize everything by filters
Mhm.
Yeah.
So do I.
and labels and stuff.
In folders and
Yeah, dump it all in.
Yep.
So I do it where you can still search it. I just also organize it.
What's that, Dave?
Are you still using Thunderbird even though it doesn't have that multi-line feature?
Yes, I am. Yes.
So you should be using Pantheon Mail.
Well,
Rocco.
I had such trouble.
You mean Geary?
I needed Chicken's help to install Pantheon Mail the last time because there was some stupid workarounds you had to do and add this PPA and do this certain command in the command line and all this other stuff. So I had so much trouble setting it up before that when I went to Pop! OS, I just never set it up again. I figured I'd wait till Juno and then I'll use it.
I mean, as far as an email client, if it can't sort by unread, not going to use it.
Yes, but my question is it going to be able to handle the amount of emails that I have?
Probably not.
And not crash.
Well, as long as you have a fire extinguisher nearby, nothing matters.
Well, I'm saying because the fact that it can't even, it doesn't offer any sortability whatsoever, it probably can't handle 26 gigs of emails.
I would think it will just choke and die.
Yeah, probably.
They've done a lot of cleanup lately.
I'm saying
you know what my
fixed
favorite feature of Thunderbird is? And I was really shocked this didn't come up because this is like the #1 reason I kept Thunderbird for as many years as I have, is the edit is new right-click menu button. No one talks about this.
That is a nice feature.
Yes.
If you send a mail and it bounces for some reason, and then you got to send it again, it's really nice not to have to do the cut and paste thing. You just hit the edit new, and like nobody's got that. I don't know. I use that, and
now we just learned that's a feature. So
I'm telling you, that's been a feature for like 15 years.
I was gonna say,
that's
a long time.
Guess I should read the manual.
I don't know.
Yeah, Ryan.
Just right click, Ryan. All you got to do with Thunderbird is right click everywhere. There's stuff. The right click menu is God in Thunderbird.
The nice thing is for me is the profile folders. Doesn't matter whether I'm installing Windows, Linux, what flavor of Linux, what level of Windows. Yep. I can take those same folders, dump them in where they belong, and it runs.
Yep.
That's pretty sweet.
I also like the fact that because of that, you can do different versions of Thunderbird, and those profiles will still keep working.
Yes.
That's pretty much why I still use Thunderbird. Is
inbox open format. Just saying.
Yeah, but this is so much simpler. You just copy the .thunderbird folder, and you're in.
Yep. Well, it uses inbox inside those folders.
It's inbox inside the profile. Yeah.
I mean, actually, it's even easier for me because all I do is symlink to the .thunderbird folder in my other drive.
Yes.
I probably need to do that.
There.
Lets me delete Thunderbird and install Thunderbird nightly.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
I actually went to the latest beta like 2 days ago and just loaded it up and worked fine.
Yeah, it's what I run on all my systems. That and Firefox nightly.
I actually like the only thing I don't like about I use the tarball from Thunderbird because it's just a pain to get the PPAs to go. Well, it's more of effort than just a tarball. So I just use the tarball. And I like the fact that you can, like, having to edit the menu is the only thing that's negative about the tarball usage. But the fact that they have it updated easily, you can just like replace the files, it's fine.
See, the weird thing is with the PPA, it doesn't automatically update for me, but if I say install it, it always installs the latest one.
Yeah.
So I just have to manually tell it to update.
Sure, but also sometimes the PPAs are not up to date. Like, for example, the trunk PPA, and if you get the daily PPA, it's more up to date than the other ones. But if you get the trunk or beta PPAs, those are really out of date. One of them's like 56 or 57 version or something.
Yeah, there was one that for a while I had to go into package build and change the.
I just gave up and downloaded the tarball, which has the binary built into it, so it works fine. You just gotta open the binary.
Cool.
Now, I'll have you guys know I am the first person to download this Arco Linux ISO, by the way.
Have you confirmed that?
First person?
SourceForge said 0 when I clicked on it. So
you can't trust that number. That public number is delayed by like days.
Right? Oh, in that case, I was the first person to.
Yeah, there you go.
If it says 1.
Negative. Wait, I'm not downloading it because I can't because I'm streaming for crying out loud.
I'm downloading.
That would be ridiculous.
It's a really slow download.
Yeah, it just barely finished right now. It's been doing that for a while.
How big is the download?
It's 1.9 gigs.
Yeah.
2.6 for the plasma.
He said in his release notes he wanted to get under 2 gig again, so it must have been
total downloads 46 now, by the way.
So, this is just a question about the Arco Linux thing. What is the difference between arcolinux.com and .info?
Nothing.
Why do they exist separately?
I think
sometimes you feel better.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
There you go, Michael. What's your answer?
I think the
So
.info
confused.
was actually started before he changed the name to Arco. When he was
Yeah, no, it's still Arco. It's still arcolinux.com and arcolinux.info.
right.
That one
but
was a work in
the
progress.
.com didn't used to be Arco. It was Archmerge.
Right, but I'm saying they now have both, and they are separate websites.
And they're different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a redirect. It's separate website.
One's his learning
he's
page.
OCD. He overdoes everything.
Yeah, but the info should be the learning page, is what I'm saying, because it's info,
Let's see.
right? So you're,
That would make sense.
Michael.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying, Eric. You should
Really?
think about that. That's all I'm saying.
Really, dude.
Oh yeah, it's so totally different looking.
They're slightly similar, but they have different information. The phase section where it explains things that gives you the information is not on the info one. But anyway, it just shouldn't be too different.
Yeah, and the articles one isn't on the .com one. It's
Yeah, the blog is not on the .com either. Yeah. Yeah, it's just consolidate and you're good. That's all I'm saying. Because this is
confusing when you change a name. That was a major move to do.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, changing a name for any brand is painful, sure, but this is a situation where the same project is competing with itself, making confusion. I'm just saying,
Especially now with Arco Linux and Arco Linux D and Arco Linux B, and trying to figure out which one you actually want to grab.
Well, I think they have to do with
Well, Arco Linux is the basic one. Arco Linux D is the core one that you add specifically what you want, and
Right.
the Arco Linux B is the community builds.
Wait, which is community?
Arco Linux B.
Why is it not C for community?
Michael.
Because it's B for builds.
Michael,
you're expecting.
why don't you go help? You can volunteer. It's Linux.
Yeah.
So speaking of some other subject,
Mm-hmm.
I would help organize, but physically doing it.
He would do it. It just would be 3 months from now. When he gets around to it.
Probably.
Then I do it. You don't need to remind me every day for 6 months.
I'll do it. I told you I would. Just like that Hannah Montana review that's coming out just like tomorrow-ish.
We need to go back in
You
time.
already did one. Why does
I don't know when that happened. So yeah, I like Arco Linux, and I'm gonna try it out, but I haven't decided which website I'm gonna use for the download.
SourceForge?
Yeah, that's what you're going to use. You're going to use SourceForge.
Oh, okay.
The SourceForge.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
I'm gonna post the link actually.
Oh yeah,
I
by
like
the way,
this little
she
message
was
that says "Thanks for caring." That's adorable.
Isn't that sweet?
Adorable.
Hey, Chip. Just so you know, I did try out Manjaro KDE as well, and I had so much trouble with Deepin, doing the different things that I was doing, that I went into the KDE version, and it was so nice. I mean, it was just so nice. Everything just worked. You could just do whatever, you could just, if I wanted to change the buttons, I could change the buttons. If I wanted to move the panel and have 2 panels and 3 panels, and it was so nice, dude. So I'm going to do some more testing this week with the KDE version of it. And man, it's that same old story of KDE has so much to offer, and then something goes wrong with it, but man, it's really nice. I gotta say.
From a supposed GNOME loyalist.
I love GNOME, but KDE is awesome, dude. GNOME. Yeah, exactly. He knows.
GNOME, exactly.
But yeah, no, the KDE. KDE in general. This is actually the 5.13 version in there in Manjaro's Deepin, and it was really nice. Gotta say.
Especially now that they've got the resource usage down so low for it.
Yep. But geez, you go from KDE Connect to all the features of Dolphin to just the power of KDE. It's like, man.
Really, all you need is KDE Connect, and you're just like, this is glorious.
Hey, I'm sorry,
we can
but
talk about that.
you can get what is that, GNOME Connect or whatever it is?
G Connect or whatever.
G Connect, yeah. And
it still uses KDE Connect.
It still uses KDE Connect.
Enjoying all the work that the KDE Connect team does,
but it does not work like KDE Connect.
No,
I'm sorry,
not at all.
Because it's not even close.
KDE Connect is amazing.
Wait,
the integration with Plasma is what makes it so awesome. But if you use it for other DEs, it works, and it works well, just not as good.
Yes. I was playing a. Go ahead, Dave.
My question is KDE Neon. I know that it adjusts the settings in KDE depending on how robust your hardware is. Is that a Plasma thing? Or
It's a Plasma thing. Plasma detects what your hardware is and uses what it can based on what you have.
Okay, so it's cross.
Yeah, most DEs do that, but some do it more well than others. For example,
I've heard very good things about how well KDE is doing it lately with the latest releases.
Yeah, Plasma takes into consideration like completely, and it will if you can actually run it on a 512 meg if you want to. Not the best decision to do so.
That's probably not a good decision.
It will work, and that's the point. Will work.
I'll be the judge of that.
They recommend 2 gigs minimum, as in this is the recommended version, but it's not the minimum. Minimum is 512 megabytes, but the recommended is 2 gigs.
Okay.
And
news about KDE Neon being based on 1804?
Yes, it is coming eventually. We know for a fact it is being developed. I have tested the alpha. Rocco has tested the alpha, and he loved it. And Zeb has tested the alpha, and he didn't love it.
That was an understatement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did the whole, oh, this worked really well. I'll just go ahead and update everything. It's like, that's not going to end well. Because when they said it's alpha, they kind of said it was alpha and didn't specify it's super alpha.
It's super alpha.
It's pre-alpha, really. But it's it's coming. It's probably like a month out or so.
That's not bad.
But they haven't really given it a full ETA or anything. That's just my guess. Is about a month.
I was curious because when I came back to Linux after being gone for probably about 5 years, I landed on KDE Neon, really enjoyed the experience, and was thinking of probably putting it on a machine again after they rebase it off of 1804.
Yeah. I mean, I think Neon is a good system. It's a good distro. I think it's not a distro.
The best part about Neon to me was the fact that you were kind of getting the minimalist base, kind of like an Arch install, where there was just nothing installed except for what you absolutely needed to run, and you could just build it from there. And that's what I loved about Neon. So
I like that too, Rocco.
But the only reason I think the only benefit Neon has is the rolling Plasma now, because the minimal install you also get with Kubuntu now.
Yeah.
So the only thing and also Kubuntu is 1804. So if you don't care about what version of Plasma you have, Kubuntu is perfectly fine to use because it has
There is a PPA with the Plasma backports that gets you the latest version.
Yes, the backports do give you the latest version. That I don't think that's been
513 is not in there yet, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's been completed yet. They are working on it, I know. But the problem is they have to get the latest version of Qt backported from the 1810 release of Kubuntu into the backports PPA. And once that's complete, then 513 will be in there.
5.12.6 is the latest one in the backports.
Right. But I think Kubuntu, if you don't care what the latest version is, because people who want if they want a stable release, Kubuntu is absolutely better than Neon, because you're going to have to worry about like all the stuff by default. You get the benefits of the minimal install. You get like, actually good defaults, and all that stuff. But if you want rolling plasma, then Neon is the better option. Whenever the 4 comes out.
But that's a double-edged sword,
if you want that rolling plasma on Ubuntu, that's what I'm saying. It's the better option. But if you're okay with some other thing, then there are plenty of other things.
That's a double-edged sword though with Neon, because like I liked it because it was the minimalist type of install, and I liked it because of the fact that you got the latest KDE, but then you also got the latest KDE, and when those first them first point releases like 0.1 and 2, and they're really rough sometimes on your
There's
system.
some weirdness that happens for sure.
Yeah, definitely some weirdness. And you said, Michael, about the minimal install for Kubuntu, but I've noticed in some distros and where the minimal install actually doesn't always install some of the. Now, I don't know if that carries across to other distros like KDE, but some things you need from the minimal install that it takes out. Like
no, Kubuntu does not do that. I can guarantee it because I was the guy who decided what was in and what wasn't.
Okay.
I decided what was a part of the minimal, what was removed in the minimal install. And although technically there was one thing I would have also taken out that I didn't think was necessary, but they disagreed, so they kept it in. But there is nothing that was taken out that's needed. There was one thing that was kept in that I don't think is needed. But K3B.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Definitely not needed.
Not needed.
Right.
Especially for a minimal install.
Right. I think K3B is awesome, but it's not needed because most people don't need burning tools. Just in general. Burning or ripping tools. I mean, it's who uses CDs and DVDs? Who
Wait, you still use CDs?
I'm surprised anyone said yes. I'm honestly surprised. But so, do you use it for like backups and stuff?
Yeah, long-term storage of movies and stuff that I download. I burn them onto DVD.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, do you use CDs?
No, usually I'll use CDs if I'm like burning an ISO to put onto an old laptop.
Okay.
I usually use DVDs or Blu-ray discs.
Right. But do you think that you would be happy to just install the software you need at the time? Like I'm saying, like this is more of a question of it doesn't need to be in there by default, or you just install it.
No. Install it if you need it.
Right. That's what I was that's what I was telling them, but the Kubuntu team disagreed that they wanted to keep it. I'm like, okay, whatever. They took everything else out that was not necessary, but so that's the only.
I'm actually going to pull my DVD burner out and use it just as a USB connected drive so that I can have another hard drive in there.
Yeah, I removed mine. I hadn't used it in so long. I don't even remember the last time I used it, so I just pulled it.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I took mine out as well.
But I can't remember what that one program was, and it was on Ubuntu Mate. That I can't remember what it was. It was on another computer in the house, and something wasn't working right. And I asked somebody about it, and they said, "Did you by chance do the minimal install?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, we'll do this because you need this package." And I forget what it was. And yeah, I don't remember what it was. And so, and it worked. I mean, I installed the package through the terminal, and it was great. But what I'm saying is, to me, that makes me leery of using the minimal install.
Okay, the issue is that some of the distros, some of the flavors interpreted what the minimal is different. So the Ubuntu Budgie went the most minimal you could possibly go. And Ubuntu Mate also went kind of excessively minimal. Like there's a certain level where it's understandable the level they went to. There's also some arguments that some of the packages are dependencies that should be there.
Oh, but they still left snaps in there.
Snaps are fantastic. How dare you?
Chicken's not a fan of snaps.
I just don't think it counts as minimal. I think it does defeat.
Well, Snapd is not that heavy in the first place
itself,
to have it in.
But like the actual snaps. I mean,
what snaps do they have by default?
I know in a lot of them, the welcome screen. Obviously,
the welcome screen. Yeah.
But I think Ubuntu Mate has one in that's like some command line tool for audio or something, which that's not so bad.
The pulse mixer thing.
Default Ubuntu has like the calculator as a snap. So the first time you launch the calculator, it takes like 30 seconds to launch, which is ridiculous.
First time.
But still, you shouldn't ever have to deal with that. That should never happen.
That's a long time for a calculator.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Deepin.
I would have tried some other app as my what do you call that? My demo case for snaps on the default install. Probably not the calculator. I don't know what I would have picked because I hate that on Debian. I had the same problem on Debian when I run snaps. The first time you launch a snap, it takes forever for the thing to. I just imagine a little Ubuntu computer in the background spinning up so it can run, simple screen recorder.
Yeah, I was live streaming while I did that, and I went to open the calculator to do something, and I just sat there dumbfounded at it. And I go, all right, well, this is why snaps are not ready, and I just uninstalled it and installed something else live on stream.
I mean, I don't think they're ready for mass deployment, really. Anyway, I agree with that.
It's like I think snaps are great in terms of what they can do and what they will eventually serve as their purpose, but right now they are a real pain.
I agree. I think Flatpaks and snaps are both heavy good potential, but are not there yet to be like the replacement solution. I think app images are the closest to be solid options.
Yeah, they're
like
pretty
right
reliable.
now.
Like they
I think app images are great right now, but in the future they don't have enough features to surpass the benefits of the other two.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird.
I
Currently,
like where it's going. I just don't like where it's at. I don't think it's ready, and I think it's been pushed a little too hard.
Well, I think app images would be awesome if everybody did it in a consistent way where every one of them asked you or prompted you to put a shortcut in the menu. If every one of them was able to be updated, that would be great. I mean, or at least let you know that you have an update,
They all have the ability to do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but they don't put it in there. So it'd be awesome if they were consistent.
Yeah.
We have one app image. It's actually in our test. I think it's in our test repo. We have an app image of Cupzilla, and it sits inside a deb file. So when it updates, we can update the app. We just update. It comes down through the regular package system. Now, technically, it's probably violating some sort of Debian rule doing that, but we couldn't build Cupzilla on Debian Stretch because of the Qt dependencies. So
it's just too adorable.
We just kind of crammed it all into a. They provide an app image, and if they ever get the Falcon app image working right, we'll probably do the same thing with that. But
nice.
The last time we tried it, they have an app image, but it's less than stable. At least the last time we tried it. It's been a while.
I haven't tried Falcon in the app image yet. When I have tried Falcon, I think I used it on the Neon packages, and it's really good that way.
I try the Kden Live app images every now and then.
That's actually what I use.
So good.
Same.
They work better. They work better than the PPAs, I think.
I really like the app image.
The app images for Kden Live is the one that's their default, the official package they provide. Like the PPAs, I think are now. I think they're still default, but they don't put them as much effort into those because they're more focused on the app image because they're more useful. And
those are great because you can just grab them and go.
Like that. I think those are fantastic. I just don't know. Like security wise, they're not the best, and the updating system is not the best. So it's like this weird. We're in a weird limbo of what we have now works great for what it does, but it has potential of negativity in the future, then the vice versa.
Well, yeah, and I think the snaps kind of have the same issue, right? Doesn't the snapd just kind of save a couple of versions back, like the whole snap when you update them?
No, it has transactional updates.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
It has transactional updates. The snaps do. They don't keep a copy of everything. They have transactionals depending what's different from the one snap to the other snap.
Oh, that's okay. All right, but okay.
You can.
I tried a VLC snap the other day, and I can never get the thing to run. I don't know if it might have just been me. I'm also not on Ubuntu, so maybe it's easier on Ubuntu.
Yeah,
that was on
Debian.
Debian.
Snap, I've pretty much always tried Snap on Ubuntu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've had, Michael, I've had snaps hold a couple of versions of Discord.
Yeah, it'll hold. I mean, Discord's different. Discord is a Electron gigantic monster.
So it's like the old. It's like the if a file changes, it's got the whole file, and since the Discord's Electron app is humongous.
Yeah, the same thing happens.
The Snap is humongous. Okay.
Yeah, the same thing happens to Mumble because Mumble has everything embedded into its own binary. So when you make a new version, it's just like, well, I got a whole new binary, because that's all you can do. So like, if you have, I've tested it I've tested the stuff with a variety of different things, including Discord, and Discord is the only one I found that did that. Although the Discord for Flatpak is ridiculous. You seen that? It's like over a gig size.
It shouldn't even exist.
Yeah, it's gigantic. Like, okay.
Speaking of Discord, have any of you guys noticed that sometimes when you have Discord open, your audio will just completely crap itself?
The latest version of the last update for Discord, it broke both the audio for the mic and for the speakers. Like, it's just completely gone. And you can tell that people are talking. You just can't hear them.
Okay, so it's not just me. It's horrible.
No, it's a Discord Linux problem. They messed up something. However, if you replace it with the Snap, it will work. That's
okay, that worked for me as well. So that's ironic.
I mean, you can't really tell the difference between a Snap and a regular Discord version because it's an Electron. And it looks exactly the same. Yeah. The only thing you can tell is when you hover over it, instead of a little hand, it becomes this weird little pointy thing from like.
I hate the pointers in Snaps. I don't know what that's about, but it's so.
Yeah, it's the cursor from the 90s for sure.
Oh, jeez.
But I mean, other than that, it works great.
There's some pros and cons there, but
other than this and that and this.
No, it's other than the
stupid cursor
thing. Other than the stupid cursor thing, it works great. That's it.
Nothing else has been wrong with it.
Yeah, I've tested it, and I have not had any. I haven't even had any static since I started using the Snap version.
What about OBS? Because I'm having a similar issue with video on OBS. I install OBS on any 1804 system, and when I do a window capture, the colors are all like pink and horrible. But if I do it in the Snap, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
It just works. It doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah. I have no idea what that one is. There is this weird bug though that OBS has, and I've noticed it quite a few times. It switches the red and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds convenient.
Yeah. It doesn't happen every time, but when it does happen, it is ridiculously weird. Because I'll be looking at a blue thing, and all of a sudden it's red. Like what? There's a couple episodes of This Week in Linux where there's literally recordings of the screenshots that are flipped colors, and I didn't notice until afterwards. Like, well, it's flipped colors then.
Would that be getting trumped?
Do I?
Would that be getting trumped, switching from blue to red?
Wow,
it was terrible. It was terrible.
Yes.
Is that? I don't really understand how all this video acceleration and everything works, but I've noticed with the VLC 3 that I have a tendency to, if I'm just watching a video, it'll just like scramble or invert. I don't even know if it inverts really. It just
kind of have a weird green artifacting stuff.
Yes,
that's just VLC.
Well, that
rendering is weird.
That is the kind of in-depth explanation I have come to expect.
Just about any video.
I can tell you. I can explain it if you want. It's just
no. I was just being a jerk. It's fine.
Okay. I didn't want to go through. People don't want me to do it. I didn't want to go through the whole process. It's just VLC does weird artifacting stuff, and it has been doing that since version 1.6. I've noticed it. And
okay.
I've tested every release just to see, and I know how to force it to do that to see if it'll do it every time. And that's why I don't use it most of the time. I just use MPV.
MPV, yep.
Way better.
Have you filed a bug,
artifacts.
Michael?
Do what?
Have you filed a bug?
No.
Wow.
I don't have to because it's been happening so long. They
in this case,
I'd say this affects me for decades.
So at this point, it's a feature.
That bug in Thunderbird was 15 years old, and the bug was still filed.
I don't know what they're doing, why they're ignoring this one particular thing, but overall, other than that one thing, I have no okay. Other than that one thing and the ridiculously 1990s UI, it's a great video player. Like it, and it does, and it has even a music player built into it. You can
SM player for the win.
Well, that relies on in-player and
Doesn't matter.
MPV, so like
SM player for the win.
SM player. You can run SM player with the MPV backend. That's kind of nice.
And in-player, yeah.
I've got some bad news, guys.
What?
Uh-oh.
I can't run Arco Linux because I can't actually open the display settings. It just pops up and disappears.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Everything is super tiny and ridiculously white because cameras.
Because cameras. That's
But yeah,
true.
so but
You
no.
can't, but wait, that's not fair, Chicken. That's not fair. Because you're starting the challenge before we even leave this episode.
Yeah, that's a little.
That's totally not fair.
That's called being extreme, okay?
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm doing it as well.
What? System, come on, man.
If you give me a moment, once I wrap it up, I'll have to reboot the KVM. But yes, I have it up.
Oh my god.
But honestly, just about any video player in Linux I've noticed will absolutely crap itself with super large files and stuff. Like it will just either.
No, MPV is perfectly fine with most gigantic files.
Does it handle FLV?
Yeah, but why would you use FLV?
Well, lossless videos.
FLV is not lossless. That is super lossy.
It's well, no, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. It's actually not FLV. It's API. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. My bad.
There's some weird audio issues.
Yeah, I've been hearing something.
Yeah, I gotta.
It sounds like the aliens from outer space.
Sammy, I gotta mute you for a second. All right.
I think we had some feedback there.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Chicken.
I'm going to step off, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
See you, Steve.
I'll have to try MPV.
Remember to like that smash button.
Chicken, your mic went lower.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That better?
No.
No.
Not really.
For some reason, it was fine, and then all of a sudden it just started going lower.
How's that?
Nope.
Same exact thing.
Pretty low.
It's the stupid Zoom thingy. Hold on. Audio settings.
Colin, you get your thing worked out?
How's that?
I don't think you got it worked out, dude.
He's doing like the alien sound stuff.
Yeah.
So the alien sounds coming from.
Every time.
Nah, sorry, I had to mute you, man. Sorry.
Better or worse?
That's better.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
That's better. So continue your thought.
So more or less, I got to retry MPV then, because it's been a while since I've used just MPV. But any other Linux player, like if I open up like a 400 gigabyte video file, it completely dies.
The only problem I have with SM Player is the.
Did he just say 400 gigabytes?
You did say 400 gigabytes.
Wait,
what
what?
are you watching that's 400 gigabytes?
No, okay, so some of it's camera, like actual camera footage, and it's like raw video and stuff.
But 400 gigabytes. What is?
How can you afford a red camera
in 4K or something yourself?
No, that's like 8K. He's like it's like 5 minutes in 8K.
That's terrifying. No, it's certainly a lot, but like I don't know, anything over like 70 to 120 gigabytes just kind
4 days of Harry Potter on repeat.
But so far, VLC is the only one that actually like loads it up, even without even with that artifacting issue. But VLC's been the only one that just kind of it's there.
Every episode of Game of Thrones stitched together.
I've never tried 400 so
have you tried this in Windows? Because I like how you said any video player in Linux will crash with.
No, it works in Windows with Windows Media Player.
No.
I've tried 70 gigs. I don't know about 400.
How does 70 work for you?
Works perfectly fine.
Okay, then
I maxed out at 25, and that was a raw Blu-ray. I don't,
I'll try.
I did a
play that with anything.
The 70 is a dual layer Blu-ray with like all the extra features and stuff. I just wanted to see if I can make one ridiculously big and if it would work.
Hey,
and after I did it, I got rid of it because I'm not going to watch the video. I don't care that much. I just wanted to test it.
But I mean, if you got like a few hours of 4K 60, it's pretty significant.
Yeah, you don't need 4K 60.
Yeah, but it's cool.
That's true. I'll give you that. It's true.
Oh, sweet, man. Sweet. He's got Arco up. Oh, yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah, but the one thing I have a problem with SM Player is it's really great, except for the fact that I've been having trouble lately with it, that if you fast forward to a section of the video, it will lose audio.
Oh.
No idea why, but and then you have to just basically close
Colin.
it down.
That works great. I can hear you now.
That looks like the guy from New Girl.
Oh, his voice got higher.
That one, yeah, that one. You did have a different voice that time. That's impressive.
Are you miming?
Oh, it's back.
So yeah, I had to reboot the KVM because it started loading it on the 1050 Ti instead of loading it on AMD graphics card, so it wouldn't come up on the display.
Oh my gosh.
That's great. Oh, can you open up the display settings?
You want me to open up the display settings?
Tell me if it opens or if it just immediately closes.
Let me find it. I've never.
Can you try a 4 terabyte 4K video and see what happens?
It has to do it in both VLC and MPV.
Yeah, let us know.
Display works. Display settings work.
And also find out if it works with 8K with red values and 60 frames. Actually, we need 120 frames. 60 frames is really like dated. Like
in fact, Chicken's going to email you a 400 gig file.
Yes,
that's actually not even possible.
Yeah,
oh well, shows what I know.
Stupid Linux can't email that kind of file.
Wait. You're saying it's not possible. It just depends on your attitude.
Oh,
you can do it. You get
no. He could email him a torrent file.
No.
Hey, Systrom, all about solutions here. Yeah. He's got Arco Linux running. He's got this display settings, and he's already talking about torrenting. This guy has got open source on the brain.
Exactly.
No. I got a better method. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What we're gonna do? That's loud.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
You sound like you're in a long tunnel, Colin.
No, it's just the back.
No, I think it's.
I'm also updating.
Oh, sweet.
See
So
if I can do
it might be.
something.
What resolution are you running at?
1920 by 1080.
Could you run it at 3840 by 2160 real quick?
No, because the screen that it's on is a 27-inch 1920.
Okay, I have a feeling that's the problem then. I think it might be my hardware.
Yeah, it probably is, if I had to guess.
You guys on the cutting edge and your great big high DPI screens.
400 gigabyte video file. Which, by the way, works wonderful on the XFS file system. So
I'm all ready.
XFS greater than ext4 since 1990.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Gotcha.
What if you take PZ-zip? You download 7-zip, or PZ7-zip.
Really, Mike?
Then you make a split archive of your 400 gig video. Then you email that. And because the email is only 25 megabytes max, it will only take you 16,000 emails.
That's actually...
You know what?
You could write a script to send those emails.
Yeah, I could actually write a Python script that would actually use pigs to do that.
We should totally do it.
Who wants 400 gigabytes of...
I just want to know what it is.
This is for science. This is for science.
I'll take it.
Make sure you got those hard drives ready.
Oh, that's no problem.
I had to convert it all to bytes so I could do the math.
The wallpaper changed.
Yeah, it does that automatically. It's weird.
Does it have variety or something?
Yeah, like okay.
Look at his face.
Really cool thing. Now it's a waterscape.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it probably has variety built into it or something.
Yeah, it does. It changes. It'll keep changing.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't expecting that. It's pretty nifty. I would probably, I mean, not saying too much gray for me.
But it has too much gray for you?
It's just a little too much gray for me.
Okay.
It's very gray.
So Terry in the chat says to send that file, just put it on a on hard media and UPS it because it'll probably
It would be faster than that.
Get the whole complete thing fast.
Well, so that is a
16,000 emails.
thing.
Actually, that's you could get like a 10 gigabit connection up, and
Yes, you could.
Yeah, could you send me a hard drive with that on it? 'Cause I just want a free hard drive.
that would be interesting. See if you can get these things working, Dustin.
Sure.
Actually,
Yeah.
I also could use a large new hard drive, so send it my
I'm
way.
still waiting. I'm still waiting for that Vega from Ryan. I
Oh,
went to
dude, it
the
was
mailbox.
In the mail. I
went to the mailbox today, and
My
it
lappy
wasn't there.
takes the ultra thin laptop drives.
Amazon
You have
had
to
like
read the
a
manual and how to mail it.
$110 RX 580 today.
You know what's nice, Rocco? Putting any distro on and it automatically works without having to install drivers.
Yeah, I'm
Elementary
waiting.
OS.
I'm
I
waiting
love
for
that.
that. I'm waiting for my Vega in the mail.
Yeah, man. I shipped it. I just didn't insure it. So
Oh
hopefully it
no!
shows
See
up.
that's why I had to switch the KVM between the 1050 and the R9, so that I could get it to where it would load without. Because it gave me a black screen when I first loaded it, and it didn't want to work.
Oh,
Yeah. So when can I expect that, Ryan?
Yeah, just keep checking that mail, man.
Okay.
You never know when it will show up.
wish like one day you actually get one in the mail and you're just so confused.
I did. There was a moment where I was like, it would be so much fun just to shoot him the 56 in the mail, you know. But my wife would not think it's fun because she was like, if you're getting a 64, the
She
56 better go.
Furious.
Yeah. So
Oh my
Why does Clive hate us?
who hates
Oh,
us now?
because of fast internet connections.
Hey, we can help Clive out, Rocco. He
What?
should
How?
browse.
Browse.
Yeah,
Yes. The terminal browser. Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually be watching us right now in browse.
You might see us pixelated.
I thought that was Black browser.
Browse is incredible. It takes internet to a whole new experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Didn't I
you
read
build
though
it
that
into
like,
MX.
What's that?
You have not, you know, I think Antics actually ships with E-Links on it, which does work with a mouse anyway.
Yeah, this
Yes.
works with the mouse too.
But Browse does images.
Yeah, it does images,
That's a really-
HTML5, JavaScript, all of the
Really? In the console, huh? Is it in console or just in a terminal window?
in the terminal window.
Have you tried it in a console?
No.
No.
Oh, now I gotta try it on the console. Okay.
Yeah. Let us know how it works.
Because we ship Antics ships a console only version, and that'd be perfect.
'Cause we won't be testing.
Yeah, we won't be testing that. We'll let that up to you.
Okay.
Dolphin.
That's your challenge for the week, Dolphin.
Oh, I gotta find someone to package it. It'll be fine.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I mean, I'm sure there's some use case for browse we're not thinking of, like people with low
Some.
internet connection speed. But
Yeah, somewhere out there, but not. No, there's not. There's not a use case out there. It was made for one person, the guy that made it. Just saying.
Wow.
man, Rocco, I guess we won't be having them on Destination Linux ever.
It was to prove a concept. What are you talking about?
Prophetic.
What's up?
What up?
How you guys doing?
So what was with your name at first, Prophetic? It was like it. Did you put your password in there on accident? It looked like a hash 256K username.
I don't know. Just because I'm running a snap.
No, Zoom does that when you click on the XDG open link in the show notes.
Yeah.
It throws that in your name area. That's what happened to me too.
Oh,
Yep.
I was trying to use that password to get into your bank account and it wasn't working. So
It's the tail end of a hyperlink is what it is.
I was hoping to order another Vega for Rocco.
Yeah.
Well, if you
mine- you
hack
don't need to
mine,
order.
put some money in it.
I was gonna say you don't need to order another one if
Yeah,
mine's in
right.
the mail.
Put some money in it.
All right. So is that the challenge next week? Is Arco Linux or what? We are
I
all
thought so. I
agreed.
thought that was the
I
agreement.
mean, it's a
I'm not-
challenge I would actually try.
Barb, are you going to try this challenge? Barb,
No.
why not?
I'm so behind the challenges. Like I didn't even do the
you
min
got
challenge.
you got
or-
a hard drive, don't you? I mean, you can install it.
Yeah, but it's just no. I'm,
we could all do.
You have the
Parrot OS.
internet, Barb.
We
You
could do
have the
Parrot.
internet.
Barb's turned me on to Parrot lately. It's pretty.
You have the internet, Barb. You could download Arca Linux, and you have a
I
hard
know
drive.
I
You can
have the
install.
internet. I wasn't with you on it right now.
Sassy.
But wait, I got chicken into looking at Parrot.
You can get
You know what,
Chicken to do
before, I would've
anything.
never-
I know,
I could
right?
make
Yeah.
up a name of a distro, and Chicken would go out and find it and try to download it. Install
Yeah,
it
this
tomorrow.
is true.
Yeah, I
I mean, Chicken. Have you heard of MacPup?
Oh, look at that, Michael! I love
Hannah
it.
Montana.
I had my fair share of Mac experiences, buddy.
Yeah.
By the
Yeah.
way, I just put Fedora 28 on my MacBook, and it runs beautifully. The only thing it needed was the Broadcom driver, and everything else works. Retina screen, all that stuff.
Only thing you
Hannah
needed was a
Montana.
sledgehammer.
No, it worked literally immediately. I just held down the Alt key, did the install, downloaded the RPM repositories, put in the Broadcom driver, and now literally everything works right out of the box. I was really shocked, honestly.
Shocked.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go.
So what desktop environment on Arco?
XFCE.
i3.
Unfortunately.
No.
His
No.
i3 is incredible, guys. I'm
No
serious.
and no.
If you've ever wanted to try i3, this is the time. If you're going to try
He has
Arco, his i3 setup is second to none.
I actually prefer Awesome to i3.
I'll take that.
Well, okay. Xmonad.
So there.
Oh, we just
Not really. I don't care.
What is the BSWP? BSWP?
WN.
No. Herb Sloofed.
Now, what is the
Speak
default?
more.
LXDE?
XFCE.
Is XFCE the default? Well, I'll have to try.
fixed
it.
Where it should be.
Well, it's actually a hybrid of XFCE and OpenBox and i3. It's got all three
whoa.
mashed together.
Okay, I want to try that in general just because that sounds ridiculous and that sounds fun too. Ridiculous can be fun.
Get the generic Arco Linux ISO then, because that's what
I want to try that. I'll also try the i3 version because why not?
And his config file is just incredibly amazing right out of the box. Like you can just use i3 and enjoy it and really not have to change anything. Nobody does i3 better, in my opinion.
And if
I
you go
definitely.
and
The last time I tried i3 was way before anybody had that, so I had to find all the default configs, and then not like those and change them all.
Yeah.
And it was painful.
The only other distro I think that I've tried that has a good i3 default is Manjaro, but I think
Yes.
Arco is 1,000 times better.
And if you go on his GitHub site, he has install scripts for all the different desktops that you can go in and tweak to exactly what you want installed that are really comprehensive and very good.
I think I'll
We
do
got
the
a shout
default.
out for the awesome desktop in the chat there too. So apparently the awesome desktop's pretty good too, or window manager, I guess, is pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah, Awesome's good. Awesome has a very good default. I like the more customizations and options you can do in i3 overall, but Awesome's defaults are way better than.
Let me tell you why Awesome is a pile of junk.
Whoa!
Wow.
Let me tell
Don't
you why Awesome is
sugarcoat
a
it.
pile of junk, because anytime you need to search for anything, you can't
You
find
have to
anything
find
in
the manual.
Google because you're typing Awesome Window Manager and it's like, you want i3's awesome, Xmonad's awesome. No!
That is a fair point, honestly.
Yes.
That is a fair
But
point.
otherwise, it's a great window manager. But that just the name is just atrocious for doing any type of search.
That's why you specifically always type Awesome WM.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Awesome Window Manager is going to pull up i3 Xmonad because it's going to be articles of people going, you know what else is an awesome window manager?
Oh, that's a good point.
It's like impossible to find help articles because of the name.
That's a good point.
Isn't there a manual to read?
Like I would know.
Like,
He
I
doesn't
would know.
read men.
It's got to be
His
a
name
got to
gets-
be a wiki page though, right?
Yeah.
Ryan,
Manuals.
Cricket.
Manuals are for noobs.
I know. No, but I'll try the default one. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I still have
i3.
See,
looks like
Eric did something great with the icons where you can, run his scripts and change the colors and all that stuff. And I have yet to actually go through that and try that out.
I've yet to see one that's all green, but he's got blue and red. What's wrong with that?
Where's purple at?
Maybe he just maybe
Right?
he just uses OBS and you just say whatever it happens, it's going to be good.
I think Elementary stole all the purple for the beta, so he ran out.
There's no more purple on the internet.
Oh no!
It's all gone.
Evil geniuses over there in Elementary.
Yep.
They are geniuses. I can't wait till Juno comes out.
Gosh, Rocco, it took a whole 20 minutes for us to come back to Elementary.
Dude, do you realize that
You're gonna be off of it in like a month, and I'm
No,
gonna
not.
die laughing.
No, I'm not. Okay, maybe I am, but
That would be a long time if he stays on it.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that would mean they did something really special over there if Rocco stayed a month.
hey, like I said, I'm still on Pop OS. Just saying. Throwing
Yeah,
it out
but
there.
why? Out of curiosity, just the theming, overall theming and setup, or is there something there that you need that works? Like, is the audio better?
Is in place.
They have done everything that I need, and there isn't a distro out there that
No.
is enticing me enough to switch.
I
Because
think
it
I think
works
you're
that
exaggerating.
well.
I don't think they do everything that you need because they don't do plasma.
Good point.
You're right, Michael. They don't do plasma. I don't have to worry about Discover crashing or anything.
True.
I don't have to worry about Discover crashing either.
So Rocco, you actually went
I
back
don't
to
use
Pop
it.
OS?
That's why I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
so.
I've been on Pop OS for a month or more now.
Oh wow!
What happened? You were on Ubuntu GNOME. What happened to that?
That's been like forever ago, at least a month ago, Barb.
Yeah, but you
Yeah, don't bring up the past. You might trigger him.
go back and install it again.
No, you know what it was though. I had something happened with the hard drive or something where I did something, I messed something up somehow. Not that I
Yeah,
would
I
ever
think
do
it was
that, but
you.
But you had it, so you were running it for quite a
yeah,
while.
I was. But then
And
I
you
tried,
liked it.
I liked it, but there was nothing keeping me there. Like it was just
Not like Elementary.
not like Elementary.
Okay,
and, you
okay. What's keeping you on Pop OS?
Well, yeah, now this time around.
Yeah.
I would say like the Pop Shop, things like that.
Beautiful.
That is fun to
And-
say.
Oh, and what
Yeah.
keeps drawing you back to Elementary?
It's amazing.
Because it's beautiful and it's amazing, like he just said.
yeah, the first of all, like the native apps, like pretty
First
great.
class.
Like, the curated apps, wonderful. Like
Okay. Does it not bother you? This is, I know, this is going to bother me.
Wow.
Almost a guarantee.
Mike
Almost,
Wow.
Talking about something.
I'm not saying that elementary is not good. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not even, it's just.
Chicken, you
Rocco-
don't want to hear this. Close your ears.
No. Rocco is the whole, 4 pixels off guy. But if you look at all of the elementary apps, right, they are very
all 4
nicely
pixel
well designed. They look great, except for that ugly gear icon that doesn't match anything. Why is it there? Why have they not fixed that? It's all this nice, like, flat icons and this 1999.
I think it's a Linux tradition to have at least one sucky icon.
That's actually when they make you a developer, they tell you you have to have.
It's initiation.
It's, yeah. If they give it to you the first day, it's kind of like your first Pokemon or something like that. They give you this really lousy icon.
Like,
so
you
run with it.
incorporate this into every.
This rule has been handed down from Linus. And you will.
Yep.
It's like some creepy cultic ceremony too. When they tell them, when they break it to them,
Oh,
guys, come on, don't
full
tell the
icon.
whole world.
You have to get your sucky icon.
The whole point is this is supposed to be secret.
I'm sorry. I should have let it go back. They're gonna make me forget the secret handshake.
Don't worry, it's just between us here, okay? So nobody else knows about it.
We had this great icon that we inherited from the old Mepis project, and it was like this little computer and had a little wrench on it. It was very nice, and it was also 16 by 16 or something like that. So when we went to like modern screens, it stayed this tiny. It was very, very small. We had to, luckily, one of the, dang it. Was it Antec Designs? And I forget his name. He's on YouTube. He wrote a whole bunch of icons for us and made our icons look better. So
Nice.
Sweet.
But you don't like ridiculously small icons? I think those are fantastic.
Well, when they scale up, they look like crap. Let me tell you.
Yeah, just ask Discover. It knows about not scaling icons, right?
Oh my god! Seriously.
Hey,
just saying.
Hey, you're not wrong, but hey.
So, Michael, are you saying the sole reason you wouldn't run Elementaries because it has one icon you don't like?
No, of course not. That's ridiculous. I'm saying that's why Rocco wants it, because he loves this really broken design.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding.
Fired.
I do think that icon is awful as far as like it does not fit at all, and they really care about the design feel, and it just breaks it completely. Every time you open the app, the web browser or the file manager, it's just weird icon. Like why? Like,
did you file a bug?
I don't use it. I don't care.
It is fixed.
That's pretty funny.
It's something you can't unsee, Michael.
No. My reason for not using it is because it's not Plasma, and automatically it's a no.
To file a bug for you.
No, it's actually
because he can do it for you.
I don't care if they don't consider it a bug. That's fine. I don't care.
It's a feature.
He does work on both.
Yeah,
it's Plasma. It's not Plasma, so I'm just gonna use Plasma, like whatever. And yes, I do file bugs on Plasma a lot.
That's because there's a lot of bugs.
Because it's the
to
best.
file.
It's the best.
Just saying.
Well, in fairness,
it deserves
system ever.
The time it takes to file a proper bug report.
So, Mike, when are you going to get around to filing bugs for Discover, man? Because if that's the case, you have not been doing anything with Discover.
I have.
You've been filing them. They just haven't been fixing
I
them.
haven't been doing anything.
I remember the last time I was on.
Name on it, and that's it.
I remember the last time I was on Plasma, and the app crashed, and then the bug reporter came up, and then as I went to report the bug reporter crashed.
Oh, that's extra awesome.
They built that in just for you, though. They're like, we don't want to hear your bug.
I love that. That's hilarious, especially because you're the only person I ever heard say that. It's perfect.
Well, it's Rocco. Of course, he found you to break it.
No, there's one more guy that said that.
There's one thing that frustrates me about Ubuntu.
It was an article we read today.
And their app reporter is that like it always pops up asking you to continue, and it's just like, why don't you just do that and leave me alone?
What? Continue what?
To report the bug. It's just like, sorry, an internal error has occurred, or sorry, this has happened.
Well, yeah, okay, that's the thing. Ubuntu has solved that, and people also lost their mind about them solving it.
Yeah,
because the whole point about them saying, well, people don't care.
Well, you could always ask them to opt in.
Right. I was gonna say this is the opt-in discussion all over again.
No, it isn't. It's not. I mean, most people like don't care.
This is like last month. The whole
bug
month.
Reporter is they do have an automatic bug report that would just continue to send it.
But the thing still pops up.
I'm actually opening Discover right now, and it's actually moving around pretty nicely.
They do have a tick box for
just wait
errors like this.
Give it a little time.
But like, I don't want it to like pop up at all.
I didn't have issues with Discover in Kubuntu.
Bug, it'll still pop up.
Yeah, the Kubuntu version 5.12 of Discover is a lot better than
Neon.
Like 5.11 was
a different story. My experience in Neon was not great, but my experience in Kubuntu 18.04 was incredible.
16.04 Discover sucked terribly, and then Neon has a lot of inconsistencies with Discover, and then so hopefully 18.04 Kubuntu is better, but yeah, it's been all over.
Yeah, we'll leave that one go.
I haven't found a reason to use Kubuntu over Neon yet. Like, to me, it's still in the
stability
just Ubuntu with the desktop on top of it phase, whereas things like Ubuntu Mate is more of like an experience. Things like Ubuntu Budgie is more of an experience. There's some tweaks in terms of it being more of an OS and less of like slapping.
I think I remember Chicken saying at one point where it said that it worked, everything was working perfectly, and then I got bored and stopped using it.
Yes.
I think that's why you wouldn't like Ubuntu.
I'm seriously sometimes bored of Neon. Like, I have to like refresh and download like crazy wallpapers or icons just to like
spice it up.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Rocco, like, is that anything else with Pop! OS that's keeping you on so far?
Just the fact that there's nothing else that's drawing my attention to try. Like, not that I've not tried other things, but
have you heard of Shark Linux?
Nothing has that I have tried, and I've tried probably 8 or 10 distros in the last 2 weeks. Nothing has been working consistently enough and grabbing my attention as far as the look of it.
Tried anything outside of Ubuntu's? Everything you've tried is Ubuntu's. Have you tried something like, I don't know, say Fedora?
Actually, I had Fedora on. I have Fedora on another drive.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry
it
about
didn't
that.
really.
Sorry you had to deal with
It
that.
didn't really.
Wow,
Michael, you were
Michael,
not
I was
kidding.
defending your little KDE
Shark
pet
Linux.
there, but no longer. Okay, I'll still defend you.
Okay,
Does
cool.
What is that? The magic kryptonite? Just put that up there and he just folds, or what?
Because like the whole time, that's all I had to do.
So does Kubuntu automatically detect your display
With the
resolution?
DOS
in
Geek way of
scale?
getting the phone matching the DOS Geek style.
That's what we're talking about right there, man.
What, chicken?
Does Kubuntu detect your display resolution and scale accordingly?
Mine didn't until I installed the NVIDIA drivers. Then it did.
Yeah, it depends on the drivers.
Okay, so it should work automatically on Kubuntu if it doesn't need special drivers?
If you have AMD,
Yes.
it's pretty much guaranteed. Yeah.
What about Intel?
Great.
Well, I mean, if you have no, if it's just if it's just
Integrated
Intel, no GPU, it should.
Yeah, I've noticed
I
that.
don't
every
know.
single
It
time.
should, but I can't guarantee because
Any other KDE
Well,
distro
Intel's built
hasn't
into
done it
the
so far.
kernel, isn't it?
Yeah, Intel is built in. It has or open source drivers in the kernel, and so does AMD.
Oh, sweet.
Right.
So if you have if you can use the open source drivers, then you're perfectly fine. The NVIDIA.
Exactly.
All right, not to start a flame war, but what is a KDE based desktop environment on average, not just for the niche user or the super uber new user, but is KDE on average like the new face of like Linux desktops? Like, is it like the best on average?
Michael, you can't say anything.
I would like to think that it's the best. Like, I honestly do think technologically it's just the best desktop. It's honestly no doubt, but I don't think it's the fake necessarily. I think everybody's still kind of behind the Gnome Dome and
the Gnome Dome.
The Gnome Dome. It's just
Gnome Dome.
The Gnome Dome.
Wouldn't GNOME be more of the face of Linux right now? Like, if you want to say which one has the most technology, yeah, but everybody kind of went into this GNOME thing where all the main distros moved to GNOME as their main default.
Well, that's
like
that was my
Okay.
yeah, that's my point though. It's like, I guess as of today, if you had to like rethink or restart that list or comparison, wouldn't KDE take it?
I would choose
I
Plasma.
think if you're talking from a user perspective, but if you're looking at just the layout of the land, I think GNOME is the face of Linux right now.
I don't think so, because people don't look at GNOME as being the face of Linux, because the majority of people who use Linux use Ubuntu, and they don't see GNOME. They see a Unity-ish GNOME.
That's true. That is true.
So they don't really
They're
what they
using
see is Ubuntu. They just look at it as Ubuntu. They don't.
But that
they don't
is
see the rest
GNOME
of
now.
It is
Yeah,
GNOME, but it looks like Ubuntu.
I'm
Like,
not saying it's
but
right or
regardless,
wrong.
it
I'm
is
just saying
GNOME.
when people
I
think
know, but
Linux,
I'm saying
GNOME
the
would be
majority
what
of
you
people
would.
don't
they
look
would
at
be the
it as GNOME. They look at it as an Ubuntu because it is so different.
But
But
but what Ryan's point is that if you're going by people who see Linux right now, you're seeing that vision. Whether you want to call it GNOME, whether you want to call it Ubuntu or not, you're seeing that, which is Ubuntu.
Okay, my point is that it's significantly different from GNOME, so they don't recognize it as GNOME. It's not GNOME's.
But
GNOME
most people
is
don't
vanilla.
even
No, they see it
most
as-
people don't even know GNOME.
Recognize real GNOME.
I know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You don't.
So-
The majority of people who ship GNOME in their distro ship it customized where you don't even notice it's GNOME at the start. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think you can
Unless you're
customize
Debian.
GNOME that much.
Yeah, unless you're Debian or Fedora.
I don't think you can customize GNOME that much, Michael.
Yeah, but to Ryan,
Okay.
but
There's
to
extensions
Ryan's
that have
A
point,
lot of extensions.
There are tons of extensions. There's extensions for desktop icons. There's extensions for
it was a
system
joke.
tray icons.
Michael,
dripping with sarcasm.
Stop.
Okay, dripping with sarcasm. All right.
no. So, but to Ryan's point, like as of historically speaking, yes, like GNOME does have the mind share, especially with the enterprise like use case scenario, especially with Red Hat and all that stuff. But like, if you had to like restart at the time, that forget the past, as of today.
If you look at like, today, the DE that has the most pull, the most attention, the most usefulness, the most everything is plasma.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If I go by today.
I don't agree by attention. I agree that plasma has the most innovation. I agree that plasma has the most ability.
Every time something new comes out for plasma, tons of attention.
That's true.
Okay, Kubuntu's the latest release of Kubuntu. I made a video for their release. There was a video for Ubuntu Mate and a video for, I think, one of the two was either Ubuntu Budgie or Zubuntu. I'm not sure which one. But there was videos. And if you look at the difference, the Kubuntu attention has double the amount of the other ones.
Yeah, but I'm not talking just on YouTube either. We're talking in the face of Linux of people who don't even watch YouTube. We're talking people, the users that don't even really know what desktop environment they're using.
This is an issue of what a distro what it makes sense for a distro to choose now, right?
Well, that's a different question. What he asked was, what do we see as the face desktop environment of Linux?
But he's saying if we started from today, what would make the most sense, right?
No, it was not what would make the most sense. He said, what is? And I would say no.
And then as a follow-up was, should it be now plasma? Shouldn't...
Okay,
I think
there was both
I would say it could be. It could be plasma. Whether it should be is another whole story.
I missed the first part of the question then. Okay, so yes, I agree that currently GNOME is the most looked at as the DE of
Linux, as nebulous as that can be.
What has the most potential to get new users into the like convenience of what they expect it to look like, and the features and all that stuff, and also the attention and innovation? It's definitely plasma, but right now I do say that I would say that GNOME is the default. I have no idea why it is. Or what benefit that people think that GNOME provides them as being the face of the first distro choice they make.
Well, it's so customizable, Michael.
Right? Sure. And it's so beautiful by default, except for the disgusting icons and other stuff. I don't.
In Fedora, it is pretty by default.
No, the icons are still hideous in Fedora.
No, they're nice.
Have you seen them? I've seen them.
I'm looking at them right now, and I like them.
They're hideous.
They're hideous.
I have to say.
Wait. He's Ryan is looking at him right now, and he likes them. And then look at his art right behind him.
Some of us have class. Some of us
don't. EB in the house. EB in the house.
Right
EB.
You like Pink Floyd?
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Oh, so real quick, EB had my first video I watched of EB was him I don't know what you had an extra cup of coffee or something, or that's just you normally, but you were hyping up the live stream of trying to get Windows users to talk to you about what's so great about Windows, and you were ready to go to war that night, and I was so pumped up, yes, we still have people who are really taking the fight to them, you know. I don't know how recent that video was, but that was awesome. I like your energy, man.
EB ain't gonna pull no punches, man.
Never.
Thank you, dude. That's very kind. I've just woke up this morning in about 3 hours. I have to go and meet a 14-year-old girl who's flying halfway around the world on her own, unaccompanied, to go to a college in the town near where I live. Nice. And I've woke up and I'm greeted with the absolutely gorgeous looking Michael, the amazingly technically gifted Mr. Dolphin Oracle.
Yes.
Oh my God, thank you.
The absolutely stunning leader of the Vegemite world, our colleague. Amazingly good looking Rocco, who's completely coined the phrase distro hop up and took the mantle off. The gorgeous Barbara, who's so technically gifted, it's beguiling. And last but not least, the best looking technical guy on the planet, bar none, Mr. Ryan does Google himself.
There we go.
The best taste in artwork as well.
I'm sending money to you.
You know what? We placed a penguin with a picture of Ryan on every Linux disk.
There you go. I like how you're thinking, sir.
So, yeah, I'm really good. So, how are we all doing? Lovely to see you all.
Doing good, man.
EB, we had the Manjaro Deep In Challenge, and there's only like 2 people here that actually tried it.
Really?
I wasn't aware of it. I'm automatically excused.
EB, have you
And
ever
I
tried
wasn't aware
Deepin?
of it either, and I am excused, but I wouldn't have done it anyway.
I just want to point out the only reason I tried is because Rocco couldn't get the Symlink thing to work, and neither could I. So I try to stay away from reviewing things.
Blame it on me, dude.
I was just being a bud, you know.
Yeah, I like how Rocco has a problem, and Dolphins is like, challenge accepted.
I was
rescue.
trolling the Telegram feed.
I'm the hero that you deserve, not the one.
It's more like the one you got, not the one you deserve. Probably. I don't know.
I don't know what the phrase is. I didn't watch that version of the movie. I don't know what it is.
I watched that movie. I slowed it down. I still don't know what he says.
It's like I know there's a meme about that. And I was like, I saw what they did with the movie. I was like, I'm not watching.
Are we, Michael? Are we really doing memes? Really? Hashtag meme.
Always memes, sir. Hashtag memes forever.
Just to answer your question, yes, I have tried Deepin. But it's absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. But there's something that doesn't fit right in the pit of my stomach. It's really weird, isn't it? Let's take the wonderful Mr. Dolphin Oracle. We all remember the inception of...
Deep in your stomach? Is that what you're saying?
Wow.
Michael, really? Michael, really? Is this a 5-hour live stream advertisement on my channel thing?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
You fill your boots, Michael.
Right, so you were saying Dolphin.
Dolphin now needs some tenor pads for men. Look, bless him. Look.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, we all remember when MX first came out. Was it MX-14 the first release, Dolphin?
14, yes.
And we've all seen in a short space of time just how far MX has come with a wonderful development team behind it. What I don't understand with Deepin is that out of the box, from very much day one, it's gorgeous. It's stunning. It's like no other distro. I cannot believe that somebody somewhere hasn't invested a metric butt ton of money into that from the word go. And that's what doesn't sit right with me. Because it's such a beautiful, slick operating system like no other. Well, if it was easy enough to do, surely every distro would be that good and that cool and that slick. And that's just what doesn't... Forget all the spyware and all the rest of it. That's what it is. That's what doesn't sit right. And for me, there's some kind of ulterior motive behind Deepin for it to be that slick and that good. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'd be more than happy to pay money as a consumer.
Deepin does have a company behind it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the amount of money that's been poured in, Michael, you can't just produce a distro of that standard and that quality with 3 or 4 developers as a hobby.
No, I think they're like a full company. They have a pretty big.
Yeah,
company.
they get major government contracts from the Chinese government. That I think that's their revenue stream. Yeah. But I agreed, EB, that you would. I'm surprised that there's no other type of like revenue stream beyond that in terms of like potential investments.
Like anything, I think we're allowed to know what we wanted to know, and that's it. And I think it's like everything. If we knew the truth, then maybe quite a few Deepin fans would be like, okay.
I felt that way with Elementary. I'm surprised they haven't had some. Maybe they had some rich folks kind of talk about potential investments because. But
even Elementary, in all its beauty and all its simplicity, isn't it's nowhere near the quality of Deepin. I can't think of another distro except for maybe Fedora. That out of the box is that it's almost a commercial distro. It's almost commercial quality, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Well, you don't just develop that overnight with a couple of developers or one guy. I mean, look at how hard Ike works. And what would you say is the best, most commercial looking out the box? Deepin or Solus? Solus is gorgeous, but it's not a patch on Deepin.
No, I think Solus is better overall.
Do you visually?
Really even somewhat. I mean, there's a lot of visual elements that Deepin has that are great. And then it immediately just gets destroyed by the fact that it's super clunky and broken.
Very clunky, yeah. The experience,
all they care about is the look. And as soon as you get to the point where you use it and it breaks on you, it's like, well, who cares? It's not a quality. It's a quality design with no quality code is what it feels like.
Yeah.
I didn't try the. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's my 10 cents. I've tried it. I think it's gorgeous. I think Michael's spot on. It's about as smooth as a load of busted paving slabs. It really, I mean, that's new standard in 1940s lift design, doesn't it? But look, it's what it is, isn't it? That's just my 10 cents. I don't use it because it just doesn't sit right. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think that's why elementary.
Like MX up, and it's like. It might not be a mug's eyeful, but it's about as slick a distro as you're ever going to get. It's perfect. It just works. Lovely.
Well, for lack of a better word, it didn't sit well on my hard drive either. So.
Yeah, some people use like the what was it, Manjaro deep in spin, just try to avoid the whole spying thing. But I think elementary has the best balance of the technical aspects and the beauty. Which puts it ahead of Deepin in my book overall. But from a visual standpoint, I think Deepin is ahead of the game in terms of like just going all out on that. But
I think the one thing that bothers me the most about Deepin is and I hate to say it, the apps, but just for the fact that they don't respect the changes that you want to make in a system, it almost feels like it's not Linux anymore. You know what I mean? Like with elementary, they have their own apps, but you can still change certain aspects.
Yeah, you hack at it, and
yeah. But with Deepin, they lock it down almost to the point where you don't even feel like you're in Linux anymore.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what EB's saying, and it's the same experience I had when I first saw Deepin and I first used it, and I'm one of the youngest ones in Linux here. Is it didn't look like Linux at all? Like it didn't have that. And I don't mean this in a negative way, but almost like that clunky couple developers got together and made it feel it had that corporate look to it. Like you had just gone to the store and bought a corporate software and installed it on your machine. That's what it felt like. And I was like, wow, this doesn't even feel like Linux. Now, once you start using it, some of the clunkiness and slowdown and stuff like that, you could see they hadn't quite mastered it as you would hope, but it was one of the most professional looking out of the box distros I had ever seen in the Linux world.
It felt to me like someone just threw a desktop on top of GNOME and shipped it with a cool control panel thing that pops out the side. I don't know. I didn't use it that deep, but because I was just playing around with Symlinks.
You didn't get that deep into it?
I found it to be mostly like eye candy.
It's pretty. I really like the way it looked. But I don't know. Tell me you hit the menu key and it's not GNOME. It's fork GNOME. I don't know. I don't know if it really is fork GNOME, but it feels like fork. It feels like GNOME.
That's really interesting. I wonder if it is. That would be interesting to find out.
I mean, it had the search bars in the middle, and you got the full screen of icons, and it looks just like hitting the menu key in GNOME. So I don't know. Except I couldn't tell the terminal icon from the
well, that's because
whatever the other thing. There were three icons on the toolbar down at the bottom, and I couldn't figure out which one was the settings because one was settings, one was terminal, and one was something else on the Manjaro Deepin. And I kept getting the wrong app, so that was probably not the best icon use.
I kept having issues with it freezing up now and again, and it was just very difficult to use because nothing seemed to be in its right place.
It's definitely a different paradigm.
Given time, Dan, you might get used to it. But do you have NVIDIA?
No, I actually have an ATI card, and I didn't have video issues. I don't know. It just didn't seem to want to work right. Even downloading it, I tried to get it from the Deepin website. Forget that. It just
straight from China.
Yeah, I set it after our meeting last week to download overnight, and it only got like 25% of it by the morning.
Yeah, I think I was getting like 4 kilobytes.
Yeah,
the original download. Yeah.
So I wound up getting it from SourceForge.
Yep.
And I tried to live in it for a day, but I found I couldn't get things like a web browser to work properly in it. It'd freeze up when I opened a web browser.
You don't need
mainly
those things.
Firefox. And downloading software for it was touch and go. Some packages came pretty fast, others didn't come at all. And I have a pretty rapid fire machine here. It's not no slouch.
Yeah, the slow repos is standard feedback for Deepin pretty much because of the servers, I think, location likely that you're getting the repos from.
Yeah,
by
I
default.
mean, the repos are in China because their focus is in China, so it makes sense
Yeah.
that the repos will be slow.
Yeah.
Because they don't care if you're not in China, they don't care that you're using it.
You know,
Is Deepin the desktop better on Deepin the distribution?
No, I think it's better on Manjaro or something.
I think it's basically the same. It feels it feels clunky either way.
Well, I mean, if you're in the U.S. or another country that's not China, I think you're going to have a better experience with Deepin than a distro
anything that requires the internet, yeah.
U.S. based.
And so I'm just meaning like once you have everything set and loaded and running, you can try it. It's.
I put it on real hardware.
Look at that.
Well, Deepin may be hard to download, but you know what's not hard to download?
What's
Barb?
that?
Arco
What?
Linux. Arco Linux is not hard to download.
I am never
It's-
going to try another Arch-based Linux. No.
Listen, Barb. Let me just. I know last time.
No.
Listen, Barb.
No.
If you're ever gonna try an Arch-based Linux, the two that you have to try before you give up are Manjaro and Arco. Arco being the number one. So you've got to at least try Arco once, and then you can officially, if you don't like it, say you don't like it.
And if you don't like it, try out Namib.
Shut up, Michael. I almost got her to agree, and then you have to come in there with
I'm
your two.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
I'm
make it.
selling ice to an Eskimo here.
Yes.
Then Barbara's challenge should be not to run Arco, but to just go watch videos by Eric Dubois, so that she knows what she's.
And let me
Why don't you
put it in a virtual box. Put it in a virtual box.
That's a safety net. You
That
can
way
subscribe.
it won't screw anything
Try
up.
Arca Linux. You'll have a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful distro, and there's a wonderful library of support from Eric Dubois. You will seriously enjoy it. Trust me, it's really good. It's
You
not
will also enjoy saying Eric Dubois.
swag art.
It does feel kind of classy to say his last name.
It does.
You know,
I'm
it's,
still gonna
it's
have
a
to
guy off a chocolate advert.
The finest Dubois chocolate.
No, it sounds like one of those fancy colognes or something. Have you tried Eric Dubois?
Yeah.
Commercial.
It does. It is classic. You'll enjoy it, Barbara. It's a great. There's so many options with it. You can just download and install it. You can build it with your own desktop of choice, or you can build the whole thing from scratch if that's how deep you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than being deep in.
From the guy that used peppermint.
I should try Deepin, that is for sure.
This is why.
I have some breaking news for you all, people. I am a very happy boy. I am now back on Pet 9 on all my machines.
Are you?
Nice.
And I just
Get all
want
the
to
box out.
say thanks to Mark Greaves and the Peppermint team. So Pet 9 is now back on mine.
It is great. It's what I'm working on this machine right now.
Yep.
Well, Mark was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but he was in the chat earlier.
Nice.
Yeah, well, bless him. Top
Seemed
guy.
like a nice guy.
Yeah, that's what I got on the laptop behind me. This Peppermint 9's 32-bit.
Nice.
Wow, 32-bit.
Yeah, last night I had no internet, so I had to use my cell phone hotspot to connect to an ancient laptop, which was connected to a 23-inch screen because I'm blind. Just watch some of your videos you guys were putting out.
Nice. That's dedication there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Appreciate
I went
that.
all the way. And it all held together, too.
There you
That
go.
laptop was bouncing off both CPU cores at 95%, but it was doing
It was like burning up his desk.
So here's the thing. I need to ask some advice from you all. So today I'm going to be the very lucky recipient of an HP backlit gaming laptop. I won't give you the details. Needless to say, my eldest son has just gone out and spent £1,000 £795 on a MacBook Pro.
I like his style.
Which makes me want to stub my temple with a screwdriver. Honestly, it's beguiling. But look, it's what it is.
Feel
Anyway,
ye, B. Feel ye.
Oh, honestly, get me that screwdriver now, I tell you. But nevertheless, so I've got this gorgeous laptop coming, which has currently got the Wind Blows 10 on it. What do I put on it? Do I put my beloved Pep on it, or do I use it for distro testing? Maybe.
Distro testing.
It's got a nice NVIDIA full-size card inbuilt and everything else, so it might be a nice.
I would say I wouldn't use it for distro testing only because it has the NVIDIA card.
I use it as the main.
That's not a bad shout, Rocco. Actually, not a bad shout. So I guess I should stick deep in on it then and get deep.
Might as well go whole hog. Yep.
Yeah, sink it.
Just jump in the deep end with deep end.
Yep.
Hannah
I'm
Montana.
guessing Michael would want me to put Kubuntu on it. Is that right, Michael?
Go with MX.
It's up to you. So whatever you want.
MX.
Wait,
Peppy,
who are you
Marco,
and where did you take Michael?
Do you know what kind of hardware's in it?
I don't know. I'm not telling people what to use. What they want to use is fine with me. I don't care. Whatever distro you want to use, that's cool. Just make sure it's Plasma, then we're good.
Well, you want something that's going to recognize the NVIDIA card right away, that you're not going to have to sit there and mess around with trying to install drivers, find the right ones, and all of that.
Is that even a thing? Does anything detect NVIDIA
Yes,
properly?
MX has a built-in tool to do that. Arco Linux has a built-in tool to do that, and Peppermint, I believe, under the software drivers would have the option.
And doesn't Ubuntu?
But I mean, as far as the software drivers, if it automatically detects it, does it? Okay, when you count automatically detecting it, does it detect it and then ask you to install it? Is that what the thing is, or does it uninstall?
It just provides the driver access to the drivers for you right away.
Right. So as soon as you boot into it, you can just
MX detects which set of drivers you need. It doesn't. Right,
but do any of them automatically install that driver for you?
Not that I'm aware of.
No.
Okay. I think a vast majority of distros provide the whole.
No, they
hey,
don't.
you need these.
No, OpenSUSE doesn't.
I don't think so.
Kubuntu does for sure. So MX Linux, I know I've seen that's why I was confused, because I saw the MX Linux pop up that says you can install these drivers. I'm like, that's cool, but like, I thought you were saying it's like an auto install.
Is the NVIDIA PPA automatically installed in Kubuntu out of the box then? Because if you don't install the NVIDIA PPA, you only get the
it's not installed. No.
What I'm saying is that it detects that you have NVIDIA and pops up that says you need to install the new drivers if you can if you want to. I think that's the majority of what most distros do, is just pop up little notifications saying, hey, would you like to install this?
I think the Ubuntu repos, the main repos, have the 360 drivers. If you want the 390 or 396, you have to install the PPA. The graphics.
And also, I noticed the latest NVIDIA driver on Windows is 398.24, I think. Have any of you actually had a go at installing NVIDIA drivers direct from the website and ignoring PPA? Stuff like that.
That's what SGFXI does. Antix ships with that. It downloads the drivers directly from NVIDIA and compiles them. It's a little tricky to do because you have to kill X to do it.
Damn.
Yeah. It's not, at least in Antix you have to kill X. I know we shipped it with MX 14 and 15, and it ships with 17, but we have our own NVIDIA installer now that pulls debs, and we host some debs. So we got a tremendous amount of support questions about doing it that way.
I have not come across any distro that you can do it from within X. You have to get out of X and do it from the command line.
I think the only reason you have to do it within X, outside of X is it tries to it blacklists the Nuovo driver, and it does something else too. I think technically it'll probably still work, but it won't operate until you actually do a full reboot.
Right. That's what the distros that have it, like the GUI installers, they require reboots for that.
Yeah, and that's what when you install the devs, all that's done. But it'll, if I remember, it's kind of it'll compile the kernel modules and set everything up. And there is a Linux installer included. At least there was last time I checked with the NVIDIA drivers on their website.
Have a run file that you can.
That's it. Yeah, NVIDIA installer run or something like that.
I've never been able to get it to go without errors inside of an X environment. Always had to go out to the command line.
Now I know if you do that, EB, there's also there's a switch for removing those drivers. If you ever decide to download a package from a distribution, you'll have to remove them because they'll conflict, and they won't. Most distros won't auto remove the installed from outside the package system.
And EB, that's why I recommended it to be a laptop for testing, because like that could be the basis for your YouTube videos of like how friendly can this thing be, because you see different distros handle it differently or different pop-ups. I think that's like important for people to know who have gaming laptops who want to game online.
I think if you really just don't want the laptop, I can give you my address.
Good point, Mike.
Michael, pleasure. If you would like, is this a ninja thing on Ballistic Overkill, Michael? Are you not stuck enough?
I use the Ninja quite a lot. That's accurate. Stealthy.
Fabulous. So, Michael, can I go to tuxdigital.com/Ballistic Overkill discount? Is there a discount?
I think that's where you find the drivers of what you need, no matter what.
The icon's a little sword.
You can't find the discount because it's Ninja. It's hidden.
Well, EB, if you wait,
there was a discount. It's not right. It's off now.
Yeah, if you wait, you can go to tuxdigital.com/Steam sale, and it'll take you to that where you can get a.
Speaking of Rocco, there's some Ballistic Overkill kind of calling us, man.
You think?
A little bit. It's 12:30, and I'm just like, I've been wanting to one-shot Michael all day. I'm just saying.
What? You did earlier, I think, actually.
Yeah, and I want to do it again and again.
And it was incredibly fake news, is what I'm saying.
Hey, big shout out to Mr. Carl Schneider in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, Carl.
Our favorite graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
But sorry, Michael. Carl.
You didn't make it till late, Carl.
Don't be trying to put these labels on us. That's just rude.
Your second favorite.
I'm not about labels. No, me and Carl are not about labels, right? We're not about labels. Exactly.
Shots whatever fired already from Ryan.
Plywood droppers.
Just to let you know, Carl, very quickly, not only is Ryan the best looking guy on the planet, I believe he's top of the tree on Ballistic Overkill by a country mile.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Well, EB, I'd seen you having so much fun with that American truck simulator. I had to get it for myself. I got one question. When you flip the truck on its side, how do you get it back up again?
Dead easy. What you have to do is enable the developer console, right? And you do that by making 2 changes in the config files. I've done a video on it before. And then all you do, press the 0 key on your keyboard and you can fly. Your truck can fly anywhere. It's very cool.
It's very Peter Pan.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Nobody makes that game funner than EB and Zev, because when they start, they'll do their serious stuff too, but when they go off the rails and start trying to get 9,000 horsepower engines and all this stuff trailing down and flipping cars over and knocking RVs out of their way, so entertaining.
Thanks, Ryan. It's just got to be done. By the way, I've thought of a great game for everybody, and I'll justify it, that you should all check out.
Yeah.
XCOM, Enemy Within.
Oh, XCOM.
You know why it's so cool? Yes. Because it's so cool because you can rename all the characters to anything you want. And I renamed mine. And I'd actually got Ryan and Michael and Big Daddy.
Wow.
Nice.
So cool. Because I renamed mine, and one of them was Pseudo Reboot. And on the first mission, of course, he got
dragged.
Pummeled. And then I got a load of abuse off Pseudo. You did that deliberately, Ethan. And I'm like, no. It's you should try it out, guys.
It is brilliant. I did the same thing, and I named the character I didn't like Rocco, and I kept sending him on suicide missions.
Mm-hmm. He kept coming back because he was a sniper.
He'd be the only guy against 100 alien. Send him right out there. Mm-hmm. You did okay, Ryan.
That is almost like having your own little set of Destination Linux action figures.
Oh my god! If you guys come
with now with Kung Fu Grip,
it's sold on Tux Digital.
Yeah,
we need action figures, guys.
That would be hilarious. Please do that.
Yeah, the whole 5 people would buy them.
Yeah.
So Ryan could have them on the shelves behind him.
We could all retire.
They would be true collector's items.
Absolutely, you just do it. Honestly, you guys would really enjoy. And you know, it's your one chance to stop Michael ninjaing.
I think it's the next project for Sneaky Linux's additive. What is that? The 3D printer machine. I think there's a whole series there to be done. I'm just saying.
I'm good with it. I'm gonna try.
You Brits need to get together and make that happen.
Well, I think there's a whole merchandising opportunity here. .com/XCOM merchandise, and we could 3D print out little figures of Rocco and Ryan and everybody from XCOM. How cool would that be?
Did you see Eris in the comments said Das Geek action figure comes with a Chromebook?
Nice.
And an iPhone.
I love it.
Okay, so I was thinking about going to this whole action figure and just as a joke making it, but the cheapest I could find is $120. And
ooh,
there's no expense too great for it though, Michael.
We should open source it to the community. If anyone wants to print action figures of us up and let us sell them,
I'm gonna go find my brother's old tub of GI Joes. I'm telling you, we're gonna find one.
Donation
account. Just think how cool it would be to 3D print out a little caricature of Rocco with a big logo of Pop OS on its belly.
And his character's weapon's a duster.
No. So you would get like he would have a duster and a shield. And the shield,
duster and a shield.
Right, the duster and the shield. And the shield would have like a sticker spot, and you just whenever he hops, you get a new sticker and just put it on.
Or he could be a pledge and a lighter. He could be like a flamethrower guy.
Yeah.
Whereas Ryan would just have a multicolored G and a white circle on his shield, I'm guessing, yeah?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they might have
Ryan's figure has his brains exposed out the top of his head.
Right, a zombie. Zombie dust.
That has to be.
Ryan's action figure runs around with a grenade launcher, only it shoots apples.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Rocco, that's ugly of you.
That's ugly of you.
I think that would be. I think that action figure would be delicious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike, would you be in neon?
Is the figure that has
I assume I have I'd have a plasma rifle or something.
A plasma. Oh, of course,
a plasma
gun. A plasma rifle.
And a neon green.
Yeah, but it shoots out sales.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Not anything
neon green.
Yeah, it just markets to you. It's the most annoying
and I think
ever.
Rocco could have a special move in XCOM, couldn't he? Where all the aliens go on to sort of auto fire. So if anybody moves, and then Rocco could just hop distro in an instant, and that's it.
Portal.
Well, I have like a mage character and have like spells, and one would be hashtag shameless plug.
Yes.
Oh, DOS will be wearing a fedora.
I like how you think.
I wish I could say your name in the chat, but I can't. But that's awesome. And then you take the fedora off, and there's an exposed brain.
Right, and the fedora has razor blades on it that I can toss at people.
Oh, very odd job. I like it.
Peaky Blinders.
Love it.
It's very odd job.
You guys should try it out because you can multiplayer it live online, and I can just see and hear the banter right now.
Oh god,
that is a brilliant idea, really.
So you said it's called XCOM?
Yeah, it's called. You can buy. Yeah, there's quite a few XCOMs, Michael, but the one you want is, I think it's about £9 to buy, and you get 2 editions. You get XCOM Enemy Within and XCOM Enemy Unknown together in a pack for about £9. It doesn't matter which one you play because they're both pretty much identical. One's blue, one's yellow. The only difference between them two, the yellow one has a few more weapons and bits and pieces in it. Other than that, and just load them up, all log in, create your team, give them your names, put your kit on, and let the banter commence. It would just be you guys digging in.
Banter commence. I like it.
I love it.
So, to just to make sure we get we answer EB's question for just definitively. Upon your HP, you should totally go to tuxedos.com/mxlinux.
Nice. There's some pop on that.
Set it up and send it to me.
Hey, Debian 9.5 started their updates tonight, and they actually, in a strange move for Debian, updated their NVIDIA drivers in Debian Stable. They did not do that in Jessie, and now they've updated to the blistering version of 384.
Ooh. So
I know, from 375.
I thought you were going to say, and unlike Debian, they've updated.
Well,
Dolphin, can I just ask you a question that's been burning away at me since time immemorial? Just a simple question. Debian, right? We all know that Debian's about as rock solid as you ever going to get. But isn't even Debian unstable more rock solid than most average distros? It's
no. Debian
really?
Stable earns its name. And there's a reason they named Sid after the mean kid in Toy Story. That thing it will break you at some point.
I have to be honest, I would have preferred Stinky Pete, but look, if they were missed it, so that's fine.
Even testing gets a little wonky. We had testing is still occasionally throwing out some strange stuff every now and then.
Yeah, that's when I use Debian. I always go stable and then add extra applications from the other repos just to like get the updates, but not have everything updated.
See that's why we've got the MX backport. Our MX repo is basically another backport repo. We just put packages into it. Although our test repo is kind of wonky. That we had a bad sync on the mirrors last night, and we got to rebuild our database a little bit. But
so that is just a myth, then, Dolphin. It's not true.
Yeah, it's not.
No, I mean it's not. You can't equate something like Arch, where Arch is designed to be rolling and all that, to Debian Unstable. Debian Unstable is the Wild West of the Debian world. There is minimal checking before it goes into the repo, and they do infrequently break things when they go in there. You can run Annex on the Unstable repos, and Anti frequently posts warnings about when to stop update. There's a reason Antics doesn't automatically update, is because every now and then you just don't want to for a while until one of if you run testing and Unstable, they settle down and then you do it again. But even testing will be strange until they do their feature freeze, and that's in February.
Yeah.
February.
How sick would it be if they borrowed like Linux Mint's like snapshot feature for testing or SID?
Yeah, that's time shift.
Well, everybody wants Debian testing to be a distro, but it's not. It's
not meant for
it's
that.
the development version. It's
purely testing, literally.
Debian Stable rolls. Okay, if you run Stable, it will change from Jesse to Stretch to Buster as you go down the road, and you'll probably be fine if you stick to the main Debian repositories. But that rolls. It just rolls really slow.
Yeah, it's like a tank versus.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
It's like an elephant versus a cheetah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, even tanks move. I mean, the M1 Abrams is a 55-mile-per-hour beast on treads, man. That's a good Debian moves slow. I mean, Firefox ESR is still 52 or something like that. I don't know. It's old. But we had a couple MX users tonight who were like, "Hey, my NVIDIA drivers are updating." Oh, really? That's never happened before.
Like that's kind of scary.
What's that?
So, guys, just some breaking news that's rocked the Linux world this week. Apparently, you're all aware that Gen 2, the Git thing, got hacked. Well, apparently, Hannah Montana has now been hacked as well. So,
oh no!
Incredibly upset.
Too far. Too far.
You bumped
them down and destroy them.
Got hacked as well.
Did they hack it so it now works?
Do you imagine if they hacked it just to fix something?
They hacked
Apparently,
it.
There is a brand new version coming out based on 18.04, but it's not going to be called Hannah Montana. It's some really very attractive pose of, is it Miley Cyrus in her current state of thing?
Be her actual name, yeah.
And on that note, hey, we're a little bit past 12:30, but we appreciate EB and Dan and Carl joining late. But it's time for last word, Michael.
Well, how do I have 5 minutes?
No, last word.
Oh, okay. Well, Destination Linux, we're live tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Live episode of Destination Linux on YouTube and on Twitch. Be sure to be there. You can go to tuxedo.com/Destination Linux. That's kind of long, but whatever.
Or you could just go to destinationlinks.org.
What
Yeah, but the Dux Digital part is important because it like
no, just destinationlinks.org. Go there.
So okay, I got 4 minutes left. Okay,
Dolphin, last word.
I guarantee you, as soon as you release a monthly snapshot of your distribution, Debian will update.
Yep, because that's its porpoise.
That is its porpoise.
Nice.
And you thought
David.
the Brits were king of puns.
Yeah.
Dave, Dreaming Wolf.
Thank you all for letting me.
Ryan.
Destination Linux tomorrow. Check it out. We will be live. And also, did Carl show up right when we started talking about the action figures? Because who could do the better action figures than Carl of us? So, Carl, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, maybe.
It's a maybe. Prophetic.
Oh man, I got so much catching up on challenges to do. My head's spinning. So that's pretty much it. I'm
Arco Linux. Linux.
Okay, I'll go backwards.
I actually will do that one.
All right. I don't know, Steen. You got your audio working?
Hi, all. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. I'm joining for the first time here from Denmark.
Welcome.
Nice.
Welcome.
You need to come back every week.
Yeah, I will try that. It's I often sleep when you speak. So,
Yeah, it is kind of early for you, man.
It's a good
I have
point.
to say, God, you talk. You talk a lot. But thanks for letting me join, and I'll see you.
All right. Awesome. EB, last word.
Big Daddy's XCOM Live. In this week's episode, Ryan gets balked, Michael gets slated, and Dolphin spits his dummy out the pram. Don't miss the exciting episode.
I have no idea what you just said.
Watch the XCOM video and you'll know.
There you go. Okay.
Dan?
Destination Linux, what's the ETA on that tomorrow?
That would be 12 Eastern.
Right? Yeah, did you send that link out, Ron?
That's great. That's me. And I thank you all for letting me in, and have a good time here. And do you have a Linux distribution, Rocco, you want to give us this week?
Arco Linux, brother. Arco Linux.
We'll try it.
All right. Carl, last word.
All right. Well, thank you guys for having me on tonight. And yeah, Arco Linux, I'll give it a shot this week.
Yep. You better be back next week.
Yet, Carl, I will.
What's that?
You better be back next week.
I will.
Let us
You
know.
got it. I got home late.
All right. Like they said, check us out on Destination Linux tomorrow. We will be deep in the live stream.
Boom, boom.
Nice.
Thanks for everybody joining, and we'll catch you next week.
And you were making fun of my
Thanks,
puns.
everybody.
See
Absolutely
ya.
the best show on the interweb. Bond.
Word.
That's right.
Love it.
It's just smashing.
Word.